Hey everyone, welcome back to Poppin In with Alexa and Molly. I'm Molly.
And I'm Alexa, and today we have the woman, the myth, the legend,
the
friend
pickle,
of the pod,
the pickle lover.
the greatest friend of the pod. We mention her every episode. Ready?
Up.
It's Megan!
It's me. No, I'm not talking about House of the Dragon today, but I'm sure I'll find a way to tune that in somehow.
Well, we actually are. It is on the docket for we're going to be talking about Golden Globes.
Yeah.
So anyways, y'all are in for a
Love
good
that.
yap session. Welcome back.
Have already been yapping for actually 2.5 hours before this podcast.
Starting the new year off hot.
Every time a new show returns for season 2, Chris will be like, Hacks is back! Dairy Girls is back! You know what?
All
Poppin'
shows
In,
I've never seen.
back!
Poppin' In. We're so back. Also, happy first episode of the new year.
Yeah, woo! Cheers!
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh, we have plastic cups because
that
I
didn't
break
sound
all the
good.
glasses, so
Ooh.
that was embarrassing. But so
whatever.
we have been watching some of the biggest movies of the holidays.
Yes.
Oh, our little hands, our little steel
Yay.
hands.
I feel like I just got so much energy.
I'm
I was
so
dead all day
excited.
today. 'Cause it's snowing. I've been cuddled up.
Yeah, it's
we
like
made little-
snowing. For those not where we are, sorry, I fully interrupted your sentence. Fully.
Don't even know what I was gonna say.
Okay. It's been snowing here. We've had a little snow, and it's been a nice snow day.
Before this,
Yes.
we made little spiked hot chocolates,
Which
and
were
now we got
very
our
good.
wine
Under
and-
blankies.
Yeah, and we had a lovely little time.
I feel a little cozy. I feel a little, feel a little
Yeah.
warm.
And now
you
we're
know?
here today.
And now
know.
on to darkness.
yeah.
God,
our
don't we love
first-
it?
Actually, darkness, but it is a Christmas movie. I have come to that conclusion.
Okay. So to
And Die Hard
clarify,
is not. Sorry.
To clarify what we're talking about, I have something to say about what you're saying. But so everyone knows, we saw Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. Nosferatu, and
That was bad.
well, we saw. Okay, so it's Baby Ratu Unknown season or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. But we've only seen 2 of those movies, so we haven't seen.
About to be a third.
We're working on
We're
the
working
third.
on the third. We're gonna see Baby Girl soon.
We're doing it
but,
for you all.
Yes. Well, I'm doing that for myself.
Respectfully.
But we did see Nosferatu and A Complete Unknown, which is the Bob Dylan biopic with
saw them
Timothée
back to back.
Chalamet, literally back to back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys surprised I saw A Complete Unknown first? Because
Well,
that was the one I was least excited about.
I'm just surprised you saw it at all because for
Yeah,
those of
they
you who
had to
don't
beg
know,
me.
Molly waffled on that about 75 times.
Yes.
For the past 6 months, it'd be the trailer. We would go see movies. The trailer would come up and you'd be like, "Yeah, I'll go see that." And then we'd go see another movie. The trailer would come up and you're like, "I'm not interested."
Because I hate
And then you would
biopics.
change
And
it
I
again.
love them.
I'm
And
so,
literally,
it's
up
so
until,
rare if
I
I
had
love
already
one.
bought the tickets, and then you were like, "Actually, yeah, I will go." And I was like, "Okay."
She came for the vibes, and
But
that's
we,
what's the most
I
important.
literally was there for the vibes because
She
we went
came
out
for
to
the vibes.
brunch and then we went to the movie
had a great
and we had
time.
such a fun time. But
We did have a great day.
it was a good movie. I liked it, but I loved Nosferatu. So let's
Okay.
get into it.
Yes, we're going to be talking about both, but we're up on the docket first is Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
So if you don't know, it's Robert Eggers.
Eggers.
Oh,
Yeah,
back with
Eggers.
the names.
Eggers
2025 and we're
Waffles
still
movies. Just kidding. Whenever I spell his name, I think of Eggos.
Eggos, yeah.
Anyways, he's done The Witch, he's done The Lighthouse, and there's one other I'm forgetting.
Northman.
The Northman. He's been this has been in production for a while, highly anticipated remake of the 1929, I think.
22 or 23.
I can't, yeah, 22.
And then there was also a 70s version, which I haven't seen that
Yeah, nobody
one.
ever talks about that one.
No, I have seen, so the earliest one, the one from 1922 or whatever,
Yeah.
is a black and white. Actually kind of scary, pretty scary.
It looks
because
scary. I think it's a
so
silent
old.
film.
It is,
Is that
yeah,
right?
it is.
Yeah.
It's
He
a German
looks scary.
expressionist film.
Yes.
He looks scary.
Apparently the 70s version has more rats.
Just,
I believe
that's
it.
perfect for you. We should watch it.
I feel like in the 70s, they were down to clown with some rats.
So in the 70s one, there's a whole scene where they are like, you know what? The plague is happening. We're all going to die. Let's just have one last celebration in the streets. And they're just in the streets partying while rats are just everywhere.
Bring
I
in
was
the rats.
picturing
Kill
them
me.
twirling around dancing with little rats.
Little rats.
So,
Ugh. Okay, so let's get down
Sounds
Down to
terrible.
business.
down to business because so first of all, just one little thing about Robert. So he was actually so he made The Witch, which is to me his best film. And that was his first movie that came out 10 years ago, which is wild because I remember seeing
That
it
is
in
crazy.
theaters.
10 years
Anya
this year.
Taylor-Joy's
I think it might be her first movie.
Bloom onto the screen.
Yes.
Or whatever.
And she did great.
He was actually going to make Nosferatu right after that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, a little too ambitious for me.
Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård was supposed to be in it, but not play Count Orlok. He was going to be like the Thomas Hutter character.
Okay.
And then Bill Skarsgård said he like didn't hear about it for like another like 10 years or so.
Wow.
And then he was like asked to be Count Orlok. But anyway, I just think it's interesting. He was going to do Nosferatu second, but that's like such a huge like thing to do. He was like, you know what? That's not for me yet.
He has wanted to do Nosferatu for a long time. He actually made a play production of it when he was in high school.
And he was in it.
And he was like, I have seen Nosferatu hundreds of times. And he actually
kind of wild, actually.
He said he likes the 1970s version, but he tried not to watch it too much, like while really thinking about the production of this.
I could tell it was way more similar to the 20s one.
It's almost like an exact like recreation, just like with sound and like 2024 tech.
Except there's one scene in the 20s one where he takes there's going to be spoilers in this, just
It's
so
like
everybody
over 100
knows.
years old.
Go see Nosferatu. Like
it's also
it
is literally just Dracula like renamed.
Yes.
So,
but he
with
takes
a mustache.
We'll get to that. But he takes in the 20s one, he takes the coffin off the ship and he literally like runs across the street with it. Nosferatu is like, or Count Orlok is like holding the coffin and he like looks both ways as he's like skittering across the street. It is so stupid.
I want to watch it.
It's
I
so
should have
funny.
watched it already.
It's scary though.
I have to say my first introduction to Nosferatu, and Megan, you won't get this, but
SpongeBob.
Is SpongeBob.
God, I love
the
it. I just love
hatchling
you guys
slasher
know.
It's
episode,
everybody's
when
first
they're flashing
introduction
the lights
from our
in the,
generation.
So if you don't know, Megan hasn't seen SpongeBob. SpongeBob.
Bog.
It is
Proud of
a national crime that she hasn't seen it, but we're letting it slide for the podcast.
Much appreciated.
But you miss so many things. Like you miss so many jokes.
Yeah.
Not seeing
But
SpongeBob. It's
the
crazy.
thing is, I knew you for a while before I didn't know that you hadn't seen SpongeBob, and I made a lot of SpongeBob references
She's probably
that
like,
you laugh at.
I laugh,
and I look back and
Because
I'm
it's
like,
funny. She
Yeah.
thinks it's just your
I
original
laugh
joke.
at anything,
Yeah.
and as soon as you tell me, like you know that from SpongeBob, I'm like, what?
yeah. I think
Immediately.
one time I did like the Mihoy thing, and she was like,
Hemoy.
or I was like, water, Sandy. Like we were in the office, and you started laughing, and I was like,
I don't
wait.
have a damn clue what that means.
It means watch SpongeBob, Megan, but it's too late for you.
Well, and it is too late. Like you would watch it now and just be like, okay. But there is
if you're
a
reading
scene.
this, it's too late.
It's like the scary episode, the Hashling
Drake.
slasher, and they're like, "Who is that flickering the lights?" And they're like, "Nosferatu," and it's
yeah.
like it's so random.
And he's just like, it's
so
literally
random.
the like. You know the iconic image from the 1922 film where he's like standing in the doorway?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
They put him in the doorway of the Krusty Krab.
and he's just like flickering the
Yeah.
lights,
I
with his
do
little
know
eyebrows.
what the Krusty Krab is.
Yes,
I do know.
Yes.
So anyways, that's my first introduction
I think
to
that's most
Nosferatu,
people's first
yeah.
of our generation.
And I didn't know who it was. I was like, yeah, it looks scary.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, it was Nosferatu.
Yeah, I remember when that first preview came out. I don't even know what movie we saw, and we were immediately like, we will be seated for that Christmas.
Oh, I was
day.
like, that may have been when you first saw it. I first saw it because I was like waiting for the trailer to drop. Like
Oh,
the day
really?
I was like, I knew
Here's
what
the
day it was
thing.
coming out.
I feel like
I was so excited for this movie.
I've been
guys.
like counting time passing and like us seeing movies because I'm like,
Yeah.
like I think about like us when it's first announced that the movie's gonna be made, and then we see the trailer, and then we've seen the movie, and I'm like, wow,
so
we've been
wild.
like
Yeah.
it's a.
I remember when they first
time is
announced it, and they were
passing.
like, Lily Rose Depp is in it. And I was like, Lily Rose Depp? Like, but now
Yeah.
I like couldn't
And she
imagine
killed it,
her
yeah.
not in
Oh
it.
yeah, okay, so let's get into that.
Yes.
Lily Rose Depp killed
killed
it.
it in
Phenomenal.
such a physical
Couldn't
way.
imagine
too.
anybody better.
Her tongue acting, great.
The scene,
Yeah.
okay, no one can see me doing this, but the scene when she's like freaking out and she's talking to her husband about like what she's going through or whatever, and she's like doing that thing where she's like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
with her hands, you can't see me, but she's,
Like-
it's
like
when she's
possessed
ripping
by-
her dress like or whatever off. It's so crazy. She really prepared for this role, and
Yeah.
I'm actually proud of her. Like, you know when you're just kind of proud of somebody you don't even know, because like
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, go beating the nepo baby allegations.
And I think she's like perfect for this role because in the same way that like Johnny Depp was kind of a like Tim Burton muse,
Yeah.
like I could see her being like a horror film muse because
Yes.
she also looks a little dead in the same way.
Coat
Yeah.
button to the top. Like everybody always says that about her. Like coat
Yeah.
button to the top. Like she is, because people try to say like, oh, she's not believable in this role because she's like she has an iPhone face. No, she doesn't.
No, she looks like
has
she
a
hasn't seen penicillin.
Well,
1800s face,
People-
cheekbones.
People probably were unsure about what she would look like or how she could perform in this film because of her performance on The Idol,
Yes.
which was a one and
Yeah.
done HBO episode with my favorite, The Weeknd.
Yeah, but it was like an awful show.
It was essentially a flop. Now she did well in it, but like it just didn't get the ratings. So people were probably just like, "Oh, Lily Rose Depp."
I'm glad
really?
she got another chance because I felt
Yeah.
bad for her with that because that wasn't her fault.
I would describe her
Exactly.
face in this movie as someone who's probably seen a witch burned. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yeah.
And that's that's what we're going for. And I think like it's interesting because technically she isn't necessarily the main character, but it's just like in Dracula where what's his face? I think it's some Jonathan Harker, I think in Dracula. I forget what his name is in Nosferatu.
I'm not sure.
Her husband,
Yeah.
the character Thomas Hutter.
Thomas Hutter's the
Yeah.
husband.
So I
Yeah.
think
But their
in
other
Dracula
friend?
is Jonathan Harker. Like it's literally the same.
Oh.
I don't know when the last time you guys like read Dracula
No,
casually.
It's been a long time.
I haven't either, but I just remember like I was turned to Chris during the theater. I was like, "Wait, this is the same plot as Dracula."
It is, yeah.
And he was like, "Well, this came first." And I said, "Well, no. I said Dracula. The book came first. It's the same thing. Where they're like
Yeah.
going to buy."
Yeah, there's a reason. I don't know the full history, but
Yeah.
it is literally the same. It's just a German.
Yeah. It's
Isn't
just like
Count
a germ-
Orlok supposed to be
Dracula?
Dracula, yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That's what I
and
thought.
there are like
yeah.
a couple of like little differences, I think, but like so she, I think, is the main character. But in the beginning, like if you had no context, you're going into this like not having, you don't even know what a vampire is. Let's say,
Yeah.
you would be like, oh, Nicholas Holt's character is the main character. But I would, I think they are both almost equally main characters.
It's the same way. I'm not comparing this. I just was thinking like it's the same way that like you would be like Pirates of the Caribbean. Like who's the main character? You know what I mean? Like it's like
Johnny
is it,
Depp or Orlando Bloom.
or is it
maybe,
Will
like-
or Elizabeth? You know, like it's
Yeah.
that same dynamic, I guess.
yeah.
I'm not saying that is the same dynamic, but I'm just.
No.
I would
Because
say-
they both get equal
'cause-
screen time, I would think.
I would say Ellen's the main character.
Yeah.
But I lost my train of thought.
Or would you think they would, or would you think that they want Count Orlok to be the main character?
Well,
Would
no,
you think
he's
they would
like
put
the-
her as the...
He's like the
Yeah.
he'd be like, you know,
He's the villain.
and Bill Skarsgård. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in
Yeah,
the credits.
yeah.
Like he's
You're
just
right.
kind of like he's the villain.
Yeah.
But
But if
I
there was a
think
main
it's-
character, I think
was
it would be
gonna
her.
say. I think what I was gonna say was I think she's so much more three-dimensional than she like in the original Nosferatu.
Yeah.
I felt like her character, like if you watch that, I mean, it's the same thing that's happening to her, but she doesn't seem as possessed. Like she's not.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing is her embracing this like part of her that she's tried to like remain hidden, and so Count Orlok is sort of a manifestation, I guess, of like her shame and like the things that she's like
Yeah.
the thing that
Yeah.
she's attracted
It's like the
to, and her
darkness
her sexuality and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think like they made her so much more three-dimensional in this
Yeah.
one, which I loved.
And that was like what I think is interesting. I think about like just this story in general is the idea of like female sexuality and like the chaos that it can bring. Like people don't know
Yeah.
what to do with it. It's like literally she's expressing any emotion. They're just like and ether,
Yep.
chloroform to the face.
Yeah.
Yep,
Well,
tired to the bed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, look at the time frame too. Like back then, like they didn't give a shit what
No.
women were going through. The plague
No,
was
and
coming.
I
you
think
can see
even
them,
now
you know,
sometimes.
well,
like,
yeah, and you
I
can
think
see
that's why
them
it's a relatable story. Sorry.
Exactly. No, I was just gonna say, and you can see them super uncomfortable whenever she's like, because there's scenes where she's like fully like, you know, she's making like
Convulsing.
noises.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
gyrating,
Well,
like-
but also like, yeah, and they're like, she's making like sexual noises like in her
Yes.
sleep,
yeah,
and like they're kind of like, oh, like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
now granted, to play devil's advocate, so this is the wild thing about this storyline that this actually did used to happen, I guess, when a man goes away. When a man went away, he would send his wife to stay with like friends,
yeah.
which is so interesting to me. I don't know, like she can't just
Here's the
stay
thing,
home
and
alone.
I'm
She
not
can't
an
just be
ad-
independent.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
live.
Well, of course not, because they're like, well, what if she has sex with someone else and now I got somebody else's baby? I'm just saying.
Well, I think it's also just like for her safety too. I think
Oh,
they're thinking
yeah.
of it as almost like a dog. Like you're just
Yeah.
kind of giving your
Yeah.
dog to a pet sitter.
which
It's
is
literally
like
that.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
and because it's like you're not going away for a week; it's like months.
Yes. Because he
Months.
was traveling. So the whole thing, I don't know how much, are we given the plot? Like,
Yeah,
I'm sure
there will
people
be like
know.
a few spoilers, but it's
Yeah.
also again like basically the plot of Dracula. So.
yeah. So we're talking about, so Ellen is played by Lily Rose Depp. Her husband is Nicholas Holt. He plays her husband Thomas. And he is sent to Count Orlok's castle in like Transylvania,
Transylvania,
yeah.
because he's a real estate agent, basically. He's a
Yeah.
realtor, and he's told like he wants to buy a house where they live.
Yeah.
And so, but he's like, he has to come I guess his boss, who I found out later was the guy, the Canuck guy. I didn't realize it was the same person.
So his boss is
one?
possessed by a Nosferatu.
He like works for him.
The crazy one, right? Who like
I did not know that
ate the head
until
off the bird?
the second time around.
But Nicholas Holt's character doesn't know that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I didn't realize it was the same man. I saw it twice, so I saw it the second time around.
I want to go see it again.
It was,
honestly.
you catch things too that like you didn't. And
but I noticed, I don't know how I noticed that in the movie, but I was like, oh, he looks familiar. And I think there was a brief flashback to a scene where Nicholas Hoult was standing with his boss, and it was like, oh, I saw something that didn't.
Yeah, and they do say it. They're like, oh, and his boss was checked into the asylum.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's like immediately when I don't know if you guys clocked this, but like when Nicholas Holt's character like leaves town to go to Transylvania, they show his boss like mumbling craziness to himself and being
yes,
like, Lord, I worship you, and he will be on his way.
So how did that come about then? Was he his boss first, or did like Count Orlok? Did he work for Count Orlok and then become his boss? Like, how did that?
I think he worked for Count Orlok and like
the whole time.
I think here's what I think happened. Now that I'm thinking about it. So she said that like Count Orlok Nosferatu, same name. Yeah. Anyways, got angry when Lily Rose Depp, who plays Ellen, got married because he was like Nosferatu's in love with Ellen. So he got upset. So I think basically he used his vampirific powers or whatever to then like infiltrate the boss, which would get Nicholas Hoult sent to him.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, Nicholas Holt's very new at this company. That's why he's trying to like work his way
up.
They were like,
and,
you'll
make
get
money.
the big raise, the big bonus if you secure this deal. And he's like, say less, send me to Transylvania.
And he goes to Transylvania.
Transylvania.
And so he makes that journey. Meanwhile, so what I was going to say was, so while he's making this journey, so there's like a couple plot lines happening at the same time. So he's going there to meet Count Orlok. First of all, when he first arrives at that castle, it is the most intense scene. Like, that scene was so good. When he's, like, first in the castle and they're not showing Bill Skarsgård, because also they kept his look hidden from the audience.
So smart.
Which
until,
was so
like,
smart.
almost the last scene, which is, we'll get into, is crazy.
Well, also during the marketing of the movie, they, like, never showed him.
Yeah.
And so you kind of see him, like, when he first arrives at the castle, but it's still kind of shadowy. You, like, you know he's a mustache.
So
that's all
I didn't
you
know.
know.
That was him at first when he opens the the castle, and I was like, who's that guy in the distance? And then he starts to talk, and they go up the steps, and I was like, oh,
and he's like, you're late.
Oh, that was good.
Me?
That voice.
Yeah.
The servants have all gone to bed.
Wow, that's a good
tongue this
tongue.
more than once.
I can't do that without like spitting a lot.
Yeah, I was really proud of our role. That was
really
good.
That was good. Do it again.
You're late. Wait, what does he say? He's like, it's bad luck to journey.
Bill Skarsgård better watch his back.
I know.
When he gets upstairs and like that scene itself was teased on social media, like because it was the first time we were gonna hear Count Orlok, Bill Skarsgård's voice as him.
Yeah.
And I was like sweating. I was like, oh man, like this
so
this is
tense.
crazy.
And Nicholas Holt's acting was really good too. Like I've always liked Nicholas Hoult, but I've never thought of him as like whether I think he's a great actor or not. Like I just never think about it. And then in that movie, I was like, he's really good.
I've always thought
really good.
I thought he was a good actor, but he always like kind of played like I think about him like in The Great and stuff, where it's like he's playing kind of like these foppish like whatever characters. And in this, the
or
first
like
scene
in X-Men.
where he's like sitting at the dinner table with Nosferatu, and it's basically just like a zoom in, like the camera's just all you can see is Nicholas Holt's face
in horror.
Insanely good acting.
Like, in horror. Like he's making the face like in horror because he cuts his finger, so it's the first time you get the thing of like he's a vampire. Because then he's like he literally
his eyes are like, oh,
yeah, and he's like attracted to the blood. But all this time we still are not seeing Count Orlok's face in full. We see shadows.
Yeah.
We see shadows and glimpses, and I think that's genius.
Alexa, what is that face?
Also, like, so while watching the movie, this is what you guys need to know is going through my head. So I'm watching them, like, see the scene. And sometimes, like, that's why I wouldn't like big named actors in the roles or whatever, because I'm like, this is Nicholas Hoult. And I'm like, I'm thinking about when the camera goes cut. And he's been doing this, like, scene where he's literally, like, sweating. He's like, oh! Like, he's, like, freaking out.
I think
about
that
and then to
just prosthetic
and then just to be like, okay, good job, guys.
And he's really funny too. Like if you ever seen him in interviews, he's like very funny. So is Bill Skarsgård. I love Bill Skarsgård's like personality. He's so wild and weird, but he's also like so charming. Love that man.
But I'm like, I guess that's the job, to be able to go from like ha 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 to ah.
But I think it was enough where it was like, it wasn't like, yes, it was famous people in the movie. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, it wasn't the top. It wasn't the most predictable actors and actresses that you would imagine would
yes,
be in
that's a good
scary
way
movie.
to phrase it. Yeah, it wasn't again.
I
Anya
liked it.
Taylor-Joy was supposed to play Ellen, and then
That
scheduling
doesn't
surprise me.
The
conflict.
thing
doesn't
is, I think
surprise me,
she's
like-
too lively looking.
I think she could have played
You need someone
Emma
deader.
Corrin's character better.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
not better. I didn't mean better, but like I could have
Yeah.
seen
Yeah. That
Anya
would've been a
Taylor-Joy in
better
that
fit.
role more.
Yeah.
But I'm not
I
saying
could
I
see
think
that.
Emma Corrin was really good. But
I think Jenna Ortega could maybe
no,
play. She's
no,
too
no.
young.
I'm sorry. I
I'm
think
trying
Jenna
to think of
Ortega's
people who
good,
look
but
a little dead.
I think she's good for like
she's good
kids.
for quirkiness. Yeah, I
Like,
wouldn't say like
Wednesday, right up her alley.
You know,
Beetlejuice, right up
Beetlejuice,
her alley.
yes.
Who's the woman from Longlegs? She could do
Micah Monroe or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
Micah Monroe. You're right.
They could do a good
Oh,
job at that.
and
I think.
okay, I was gonna ask you guys this later, but I think Variety, decided on what the 2 best horror movies of 2024 were.
Interesting.
Guess what they were?
Longlegs and Nosferatu, I would imagine.
Correct.
Only because I feel like we're
I
the only ones
agree
that
with
have
those.
come out.
I
feel
actually
like
agree.
Hereditary is probably up there. I haven't seen it yet.
No,
and
of
everyone
2024.
loves
That came
Four.
out. Hereditary came out like 2 years ago.
Heretic.
Heretic.
I'm sorry, you said Hereditary.
I
my
never
apologies.
saw it, but I do.
I
I
wanna see
probably,
it.
but no. I mean, I would say I would agree with that because
Yeah.
Longlegs
Oh, yeah.
to me was like actually a very good movie, and it was. I thought it was really
The
scary.
hype leading up to it too, and the way that they
Yeah.
marketed that movie too,
The
where
marketing was
not
great.
showing us Nicolas Cage's face was, and then like the scene you actually see right in the beginning, it's like a big jump scare. It's like,
Yeah.
oh wow.
There haven't been too many. I mean, Quiet Place Day One was good, but I wouldn't like.
It wasn't,
I'm not
like,
scared
scary.
of that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
never scared of those movies. I was gonna say though, I do think so. To play devil's out, so like I said, at the same time as he's visiting Ken Orlock and like is in that situation and it's wild and weird, Ellen is at their friend's house. So it's played by Aaron Taylor Johnson and Emma Corrin, and they're like a couple, and Nicholas Holt's character was like good like college friends or whatever with Aaron Taylor Johnson. So they're taking care. They're like she's staying with them.
It basically
I'd
be
let
like,
him babysit me too.
It'd basically be like if Matthew left on a trip and you're like, you came to stay with us.
That's
You know
what I
mean?
said. I actually asked him. I was like, "Who would you?" Who
And then
would
she
you
starts
bring me
convulsing
to?
in the middle of the night.
And he named one of his other friends, and I was like, "No, bring me to Chris and Alexa's house."
Who's his other friend?
Drop
Who do
me
I
off.
need to fight?
Drop me off and don't pick me back up.
Can you
Have fun in
imagine though,
Transylvania?
if Matthew dropped you off and then like you started having convulsions and stuff like
See
she
that
does?
his
Chris would
friends,
be like, let her die.
Chris
yeah.
would be like, oh hell no.
That-
He'd be
that's
like
the
on the
thing.
phone, Matthew, you're coming back.
But
Yeah.
I think you'd be like Emma Corrin, where you'd be so like concerned
Yeah.
about me.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, to play devil's advocate, because I feel like a lot of people were like, "What was wrong with him? He was so rude to her." And I'm like, "No, this girl was just dropped off at their house. They can't
Yeah.
get
They
they
have
can't
two
get a hold of her
kids.
Yeah,
husband.
two
they
little
have
kids.
2 little annoying, weird, scary
Yeah.
kids." Sorry, they were kind of scary to me.
They were
Sorry.
they were shining children.
They were
Yeah.
shining children. They reminded me, if you've seen The Witch, they reminded me of Jonah and Mercy, the 2 little
Yeah,
twins.
yeah.
Jonah, Mercy.
What is it with his?
Which,
like,
by
with,
the
like, little
way-
girl, like little kids.
The doctor in Nosferatu was like the dad in The Witch. He's in most of his movies, just like Willem Dafoe is.
Oh, okay.
So, Kings. Matthew and I call them both Kings.
Robert
Okay.
Eggers is really starting to remind me of like of David O. Russell, and then who's the other popular director who uses Emma Stone? Yorgos.
Yeah, I feel
where
like
it's like
he
when
also
people-
uses Willem Dafoe a lot.
Yeah.
When directors
People love
which
Willem
I cool,
Dafoe.
directors have their
Yes.
niche, like
And Willem
David O.
Dafoe
Russell
is-
loves working with Bradley Cooper, loves working with Jennifer Lawrence and Christian Bale, and like for a lot of his movies,
Yeah.
and like which,
People have their
great.
cliques.
And
Well,
it's
yeah.
like, it's cool
And
because it's like
also-
you know you're gonna get a great movie out of it because you have
Yeah.
a great ensemble cast.
And Willem Dafoe's I love Willem Dafoe, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I think I've decided I think he might be my favorite actor.
he has range.
He
Yeah.
has range,
was
and
the
he's
Green
also
Goblin, for goodness
I
sakes.
know. He's also so
He scared the crap out of me.
He's so like funny too in real life. Like, I just love his personality. He's
Yeah.
so like cute. Like, I just love
just
him.
can't
He looks
get
like
over
the,
him.
the grandpa of like the group of like just that sweet old man that's gonna
Yeah.
take care of everybody.
Was it
on set.
Versace or Gucci that did like the villain?
Yes, the villain Runway.
yes.
It was like Adrian Brody.
Yeah,
him.
it was iconic.
Tim
I
Roth. It was
watched that
so-
video
me
over
too.
and over.
Me too.
and
Gary
over
Oldman.
again. Yeah.
I think it was
all it is like older men who've played villains, and they're wearing like
I think
they're
it was
doing
Gucci.
runway. Yeah, Gucci. Like they're
I
doing
think so.
men's like
That's cool.
like
You have
suits
to
and
watch
stuff.
it, Megan. It's
good.
you would like it. It's really like it's so random. It's like these group of actors
Yeah.
who are usually playing villains, and they're literally
And the fact
doing the runway.
that they got them
That's
all
cool.
to do, like be like, yeah, like I'll
and
do
they're
that.
stunned. They're like,
yeah,
Willem
they're like-
Dafoe's like.
Which villain was Gary Oldman?
I mean, he did. He was in.
I was blanking.
He was
He's
Bram
Mysterious Black.
Stoker's Dracula. He was.
Oh
in,
yeah, yeah, that's right.
I didn't know that.
And Anyway, so I think so that's what's happening there. She's like convulsing. Because Count Orlok is now speaking through her, speaking to her, and so she's like freaking out. And so they're like, "Get out of our house!"
And also, like, I get that guy being like, "What the heck?" Because he has young kids. His wife is, I mean, again, spoiler, pregnant, but they say that fairly early on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And like in this day and era, he's responsible for them all. You know,
Yeah.
like if he leaves town, his wife has to go to somebody to look after her or whatever, which again is, I don't agree with it, it's stupid, but like essentially like he's like, great, now I have this convulsing woman under my
that
house.
you dropped off on my doorstep.
Yes, so he's actually going out of his way to take care of her too. He's calling the doctor every day. Like he's actually like, I felt bad for him the entire movie, and
he can take care of me.
But then Willem Dafoe plays this like kind of disgraced doctor. He's like a professor.
He's like a professor. He's like a doctor, but also an alchemist, I think.
Yeah, what do you call it, occult or whatever, like he like, and
he's
so
Doc
he's the only
Doc Occult. Get it?
He's actually not Doc Ock, he's actually
Green Goblin.
I know,
I'm joking, I get it.
Okay, thank you.
I was picking up what you're putting down.
Thank you.
And so he is the only one who understands like what she's going through. He's like, oh yes, Nosferatu, that's what's happening.
Which is, where does this come in?
And so he comes in, he's like, untie her, stop giving her drugs, let her be her.
Yeah,
let's
her
figure
have a love
this
affair with a
out.
vampire.
Meanwhile, so Count Orlok is like, yeah, that's right, I'm coming to Germany.
Yeah.
And so he comes back, he brings the plague with him. So here's where my greatest nightmare and phobia comes in. I had to keep
loves it.
plugging my ears every 5
I kept trying
seconds.
to look over you, like, because Megan was sitting in between us, so I kept trying to, like, look at you, but you looked fine.
Could you see me? Oh, I was literally like this the whole time.
I could see. She had her
I
ears
couldn't
plugged.
see her very well.
The whole time, because I can't hear the screeching squeaks. Like, I can't handle
Tell
it.
the class what you're most afraid of, Molly.
Oh, sorry, I thought I said. So a bunch of rats are just throughout the movie skittering around.
Thousands.
At one point,
this
there's 5,000 rats in one scene, and they're trained rats.
Yeah, and we were laughing afterwards about, like, imagine all those rats, like, come out and they do their thing, and, like, Robert Eggers is like, okay,
Rat number 11, here's your note.
Run it back.
Release the rats.
Yeah, and all the rats are like, man, we gotta talk to the guild about this.
Well, because, like, where? They were, like, trained rats. I said, trained where? What do you mean they're trained?
Like, I understand training, like, 1 or 2 rats, but, like, thousands? Is
and because I'm not a rat expert, but like what one rat does, another probably will follow. And they're like,
that's true.
They're just like, where's the cheese?
You
and
can't.
it's like,
well, how do you get into that
smart,
career
though.
of like training rats? Not and like, you know what I mean?
You
like,
love animals.
You've been waiting for this call from Robert Eggers like your whole life.
Yes.
And
You're
every
like,
time,
finally.
I mean,
my
other
skills.
movies too.
What other movies are using thousands of rats?
The hardest watch I've ever had that I had to. No, you probably don't know what I'm gonna say. I had to turn it off because Matthew wanted me to watch it. It was a Stephen King movie called 1922 or something.
Oh yeah,
I haven't
it's on
seen
Netflix.
That.
It is about rats. It is.
I honestly thought
horrifying.
it was boring.
It was boring too, but also there were so many rats that I was like, Matthew, I cannot handle this. Why'd you tell me to watch this? So I had to turn it off.
I thought Molly was going to mention the one horror story she tells when we bring up rats is the scene in Game of Thrones where he's where they put
well,
he
that
has the
but Big
stomach,
Brother
he has
too.
the thing on the rat and he has the thing on and
They
then
do
the
that in
rat
Big
is
Brother?
inside it.
Not the show. I'm saying 1980. What's the book called? 1980.
Orson
1984.
84. Yeah.
I was
Orson
like,
Welles?
they do that in the reality show Big Brother.
Probably.
What did I
Probably.
miss?
But in 1984, that's how they torture them is putting. They're about to. They put like
Because
a
when
cage.
you put a
over
rat in a cage and
so-
you ignite the fire, it'll
I do want to
burn.
talk about like bodily functions in this. For one, I literally like was gonna write on this note. I was like, don't eat dinner while watching this.
Yeah, and I
But
couldn't
also-
finish. I couldn't finish my burger.
Yeah, but
And
also,
that burger smelled really good.
and that
I'm
is
just
one
saying.
thing. Is like, so this is not a vampire that like bites into your neck or whatever. It's like
He slurps.
He the squelching sound.
That was too much.
Not
That was
squelch,
too much for
wrapping his
me.
whole
Not the
mouth
squelch.
around your breastplate.
Yeah,
essentially,
that was bad.
And
Yeah.
sucking it up, and then you see like
That was bad.
the
It was very
blood,
uncomfortable.
like dripping from his mouth and his little like countish mustache or whatever. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But I also want to talk about like
This wasn't your grandma's Nosferatu.
No.
It was very I'm serious. Like this was very uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable.
It was uncomfortable.
But that's what they wanted
But
to
it
do.
was also beautiful. Like the
Yes.
cinematography in this, I think we came out and I said it's like a dark Wes Anderson where everything like
Yeah, it was
Robert
really
Eggers
pretty.
is an auteur.
Yes.
Everything is absolutely perfect.
Yes.
To the scene where it's like I don't want to say any spoilers, but it's like a scene at the end where Willem Dafoe's character is looking out the window and the way the light is hitting him like puts a cross, just a little like cross on the side of his face. Or there's like
I mean, the whole wood scene
That
before he goes
crossroad- the
to the
crossroads
crossroads
scene.
is like I've never seen anything like that.
I would
shot.
stand
like
in
that
a dark,
was
I would stand in dark woods and just stare like that, just be like, wow.
Well, no, they
But
filmed
no, like-
it with So what they did, I actually just did this or saw this recently. It was like they used some kind of filter, so it was like there's no yellows coming in, so it's almost black and white, but it's
Yeah.
not.
And so I was listening to a thing where he was saying, he was like, I don't even know if he ever intended it for it to be black and white, but he was like, it's too expensive to do it black and white in terms of like, if you want to have it like streaming through channels or you want to do advertisements or whatever. Apparently, like full black and white is really expensive, which I didn't know.
What channel would that even air on, other
And
than like
also,
AMC?
Does he use
But like
this
streaming, like
Oh,
if it comes
yeah,
on
yeah,
HBO
true.
or whatever, like it's more expensive to stream black and white, I think, or like if you do advertisements or whatever, like and like the film, the cameras, everything.
That's
I think
true.
is more
I'm sure he
expensive.
learned that from The Lighthouse because that was all in black and white.
And
Does
so
he do that with all of his movies? Is
No.
that the way? Because I mean,
there's not a lot of color in his movies.
that's what I'm saying.
He's
Like,
the
a lot of them
opposite
are
of Wes
darker. The
Anderson
Lighthouse
in
is
movie.
darker.
Or in
The
that
Witch
way.
was kind of darker.
Yeah.
I would
Nosferatu
say
was dark.
Nosferatu is not a black and white movie, but it's almost there. Like
It
the
is,
lack
yeah.
of color is really startling and beautiful.
It's a lot of blue, I would say, maybe.
Yeah.
He is truly like, I cannot wait to see what his. So he said he's already casted Willem Dafoe in his next 2 movies.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Amazing.
I'm so
Count me
excited by
in.
that because he said apparently
How
his.
old is Willem Dafoe?
I'm gonna
He's like in his
assume
60s.
7.
Yeah, maybe 70.
I would say
I don't know.
70s now, but
He's
I
got a
could be
great
wrong.
body though. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen him like shirtless? I'm like, whoa.
I have not, but I will
It's
be
crazy.
looking up
He's
shirtless
so
William Dafoe.
he's
What
so
do you
fit.
look like young? Was he
I
hot?
don't want to know.
The Green
Okay.
Goblin.
You know what? Even as a great, but I feel like he was old then.
Do you ever see hot
I'd say
old
it's probably
men
his
and then you
40s
look
then.
them up like young and then you're just like,
Yeah.
actually, and that gives me hope. I'm like, maybe I'll
That's how
peak
I
at
feel about
60.
Larry David. I find there's something about Larry David. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I find him to be attractive. I really do.
There's attractive older men out there.
Yes,
This
and,
is a safe space.
but when
Clint
he was
Eastwood.
younger, it's like you're like,
Thank you.
well, yeah, he's obviously attractive because he was like hot when he was
So
like
is his
younger.
son.
Yeah, his son looks like him when he was younger.
Yes.
But I'm saying like Larry David, somebody who's kind of unassumingly
Yeah.
hot. Like there's something very charming about him, I guess, is what I would say. But when you look at like younger photos of him, I'm like, no.
Ben Stiller and Ray Romano.
Oh,
better
Ray
at
Romano.
55 than
Yes.
at 25.
No,
Why
so
am I- Why am I
true.
blanking on what Ray Romano looks like?
He looks good right now.
Do you remember?
Did you end up
Everybody
watching
Loves Raymond?
Nope, never saw
Watching what? Oh, that show.
the show
no,
on
I
Netflix?
plan to.
He looked really good in that.
He does. He's. I would date him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I can't imagine Robert Eggers ever doing a modern film. Like imagine
No.
his next
Period
movie.
pieces are his thing.
His next movie is, and I cannot remember what the time period is now.
There would be no
I got
iPhones.
so
There
excited.
could not
Wait, it
be
is
an
a period
iPhone in
piece
his
still,
It's
right?
another period piece, and it was like a period piece that I was so like a time period I'm so excited for, and I cannot remember what it is. Sorry,
I really
Renaissance
want
maybe. I don't know.
more like.
I want a pirate movie from him so badly.
Ooh.
Can you
I was
imagine?
about to say the Odyssey.
I have a
but that's Christopher
recommendation
Nolan.
for you after this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, is it The Terror?
Yeah.
Okay, Matthew recommends it to me every day.
I've been watching it, and I have to tell our friends Liz because she's been recommending it to me like every time she sees us.
Really?
And I've been watching because it basically takes place
Who's
in
in it? I feel like no one's
1840s,
in it.
and it's like an expedition to the Arctic where they get stuck. And
It
it's like
sounds
18
scary.
and it is. It's really well done, but like while it's been snowing and stuff, it's been like great.
Ooh, maybe I should. Okay, you know what? Oh, Ridley Scott produced it.
There's only like 8 episodes or something, I think.
Side note: are you thinking of Labyrinth, Molly?
Labyrinth.
Robert Eggers is set to remake the high fantasy film.
I
Labyrinth.
did hear that
Oh,
he
that's
is
crazy.
doing that.
Which
Isn't
I've
that
never
crazy?
heard of.
That's
Okay,
like so
that's
out
the
of
David
his.
Bowie one,
Oh.
but I like Pan's Labyrinth.
I want to see that. I've to this day
Oh.
never seen that movie.
Oh, it's really
No.
good with the hands on the eyes.
I haven't either.
It really inspired me as a child.
He is. They just said what his next. Ooh, he wants to make a Frankenstein movie. Okay. By the way, the fact that we got Nosferatu and we're about to get the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein
That's gonna
with
be
Oscar Isaac.
That's
I
gonna
am
be sweet.
the
Bring back all the
Gothic-
old horror villains.
Ugh.
Like bring them all back. Yeah.
But
But
this
here's the thing,
again-
I'm not surprised because I feel like it, just as a society, as a culture, we do this cyclical thing where it's like every 100 years, yeah, we're gonna like do the same movies, we're gonna redo the same
Yeah,
books or whatever,
but-
because we love the things that we love.
we do, and I also just love. Well, so I love. I'm talking about Nosferatu and all of Robert Eggers' movies. This is why I love his movies and like kind of and also Ari Aster movies. Like they do like folk horror, and
Yeah.
I love folk
Yeah.
horror. That's my
very
favorite
much,
genre.
That's very
yeah.
much very on brand for you.
So
Yeah. I just my like last thing I wanted to say was that like I loved the the costume design. Like when he was walking through that chilly forest and I was looking at his coat and I was like, literally I was like, I don't know how to search this on Google to get a coat that looks like that. But like, can you imagine I just show up to like the brewery and that's the coat I'm wearing?
Yeah. Willem Dafoe actually had the best style in that movie. I loved his coat.
I just love like the layers.
Bill Skarsgård had the best style.
Okay, so we haven't talked about Bill Skarsgård enough, I feel like. I just want to say one thing is like, that man is a shapeshifter, truly.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I think he is in real life, yes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he really, and I mean, even...
The thing is, though, I don't think he's ever gonna, like, win for stuff like this, because, like, you don't see his face. Like, he's doing a great job. He's doing amazing voice acting, but when you're going up against people doing, like, actual, like...
Colin Farrell, though, we'll get into this, but he just won the Golden Globe for the Penguin, and I kind of thought that, too, about him. Like, oh, maybe he wouldn't, but he did, and... For that same thing.
But you saw his face, right? Like, he was wearing costume.
I thought, just from previews I've seen of the Penguin, it does, he's
no, it's not like not
me.
telling it's him, but like, you didn't basically see Nosferatu's face.
I see what you're saying, but like, okay, I agree with that for Nosferatu, but like, for something like it, you know, where he's like, very much his acting is like crazy.
Oh, I think he's a great actor.
So I do hope, like, I think he is somehow like, even though he's not underrated necessarily, I do think it's like, we don't give it up enough for him, because his level is just like, I really appreciate when, first of all, he's so hot, but he like doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like, he'll just be crazy.
How tall is he?
I'm gonna assume
he actually
6'3".
said he is on the shorter side of his family.
Okay, that gives me no frame of reference. They're all giant.
I know, they're all
Nordic
no, but I'm
people.
just saying for frame of reference,
which
he's
I
on
believe
the shorter
that,
side.
But like in the average,
he's maybe 6.
world.
He's 6'4".
Wow.
6'4". I was gonna say 6'2".
That's my height.
Yeah.
Wow.
6'4". That means so Alexander, I think, is taller than him. How old is her? How tall is
Stellan's
Alexander?
the dad. Then it's Alexander. There's another brother. Then it's Alexander, and then Bill.
There's like a lot of brother. There's a lot of siblings.
A lot of Skarsgård men.
There's 4 alone of the Skarsgård family that are actors, because the one brother is on the Viking show.
Oh yeah.
So
appropriate. I do want to watch that. I do think I would like that.
Talk to Cindy about it.
I feel like Cindy and I really need to get on, like, just have a text conversation about like period piece things, because I've seen a lot. I have a lot of opinions. I have a lot of things.
I love period pieces too.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you, girl.
Oh,
you need some recommendations.
More recommendations.
But I need them to be like really dark and disturbing, like Nosferatu.
Like Nosferatu.
I got one for you. I'll send you a list.
Okay.
No. But also, you would like The Terror, because it's also like a bunch of hot men on a boat.
Are there? Because I just looked at the cast and I didn't see. No offense, but it's like, Tobias Menzies or whatever his name is on it.
He's in Outlander.
He's in The Crown too. He's also in Game of Thrones.
He was in Outlander first.
Who's he
But
playing
yeah,
in Game of Thrones?
I think he is hot. He is like a main character. But there's also like a bunch of like other like random guys who
he's like,
you might not recognize but are hot.
Okay. Are they? Because that's good.
I think they
will
are,
be
and,
watching
like, especially like in the way that like, I know you like a guy who's
Tully.
like interesting to look at. You know, like, you're not like a Glenn Powell type of girly. You're like a Bill Skarsgård.
Correct. You know what I really came to the realization of, you guys? I think I discovered this on the podcast, like, just randomly. So you may have heard this already. For me to be attracted to an actor, it's like they have to play a villain, I think.
And they have to be a rat boy.
I think that's what it is.
You like Hercule Poirot.
Who?
He's not a villain. Here's the thing. I think you like men who aren't, like,
I'm not that attracted to Hercule Poirot.
But no, I think you like men who it's like, they look like there's something interesting about them. Like, you're not gonna go for like you're not like, oh my god, Ryan Gosling, like, whatever.
I do love Ryan Gosling, but yeah,
you're not like
right.
foaming out the mouth.
I'm not foaming out the mouth for like Ryan Reynolds or Glenn Powell. That is true.
Right.
Nobody's foaming his mouth for Ryan Reynolds right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you like a little bit of like an interesting face, which I get. Like, I don't like people. Is it me spitting on you?
No. There's something on my face. I can sense it.
Is it my spit?
Mm-mm. It's just my face breaking out.
It could have been like Count Orlok's drool.
Yeah.
The only, I don't know if y'all were wrapping up Nosferatu, but
I don't even know.
Sorry, I feel like we haven't let you talk at all.
I know. I'm sorry, Megan.
I know you're fine.
The floor is yours.
You're fine. I was just gonna say, there were so many times where I would talk about how excited I was to see this movie, because I am a horror girly. Like, I just want to watch scary movies.
I am a whore. Is that what you thought she was gonna say?
Well, like, the way she did that pause, like, I am a whore.
Because I am a whore for Bill Skarsgård.
Horror, and Aaron Taylor Johnson. I would let him babysit me all day, like I said. But anyway,
he was for his friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
The babysat her.
Pet
sat her.
I just like,
Sorry, Megan, continue. I'm so sorry.
I was just so excited to see it because I have not seen any of the originals or even the 1922 one, but I just knew the storyline, and I remember reading Dracula like when I was in school, and I was just like, look at this cast, and I loved the fact that Bill Skarsgård was going to play Count Orlok because I am actually obsessed with the It remakes because I think he did such a good job as Pennywise. So I was like, I know we're going to see like an outstanding performance as him, and like, I don't know. I was a little curious as to how they were going to portray how he looked, but at the end, when he just looked he was
grotesque. He was actually really ugly and grotesque.
Grotesque is actually the perfect word to describe because of the way he
Molly's
talks.
like, that decrepit body?
Yeah.
The way he talks, the way he lingers,
I loved his voice.
his
He was like,
fingers.
The breathing. No one talked about the breathing.
Molly was like, take my chest bone. She was like,
You're
I'll be Ellen.
late.
She's not good enough for
The
you.
servants have already
Fuck that bitch. She doesn't want you. I do.
It was just, and, okay,
God, that would have been so
this was
overstimulating for the listeners.
This
that
was-
moment,
yeah.
we're both like just screaming into the microphone. I'm doing my Nosferatu impression. You're just screaming.
This was something we hadn't touched on yet, but one of the really cool things about Bill is that when he gets into roles like this, like he gets into it, and we didn't mention this.
Yes.
He worked with an opera singer
coach.
and a voice coach
Yeah.
to lower his voice an octave. Like he was not getting any sort of help,
And
with
it
that
did
voice.
not sound like him.
Imagine,
Not at
like,
all.
you know
Like when I
how,
hear Pennywise, sometimes I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
Bill
yeah, that's
Skarsgård.
Bill,
But
you
I
know.
don't.
You know how Austin Butler was like, oh, I got stuck in the Elvis.
Can you imagine? Like if he got stuck and he was
how
like,
Austin Butler was like, I got stuck in the Elvis
goes,
voice.
I
Hey, pretty
loved
mama.
working on this movie. Robert Eggers.
I'm just picturing that like Blake Lively interviewer just being like, okay. Sure. On to anyone else.
Yeah.
to literally anybody else.
Hey, pretty mama. That was a mix of them.
That was good.
Please come into work tomorrow and talk to people like
You've
that.
also been
I
working
will.
with a voice coach.
I
Yeah,
know. I can do.
suspect.
I actually think I'm pretty good at impressions.
Molly lowered her
sometimes.
voice an octave to.
What's your
I
best
do impressions
impression?
of the two of you, but you guys just have never heard of them.
Well, okay, now you have to do them.
Not right now.
What?
Probably never. for you guys.
Listeners want to know.
I'm scared.
No,
I'm
it's
not gonna
very
be offended.
physical. It's physical. You'd have to see.
Oh
me
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
You gotta. See
Oh wait,
it
we
to-
did
you gotta see it
impressions
to
of each
believe it.
other one time, I think.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
That was my impression of you. That was just a little
again, I already said last name, but last thing I want to say is I will think like if I don't see this like Oscar winning for something,
It better.
I don't know. So here's what I was gonna say. Like this is what, because you were saying that right after we got out of the movie, you were like, "That's an Oscar movie," and I'm like, I would love to think that, and maybe with this one, yes. But I think like horror movies are really overlooked by awards.
They are, and I don't think they should.
Which is criminal because some of the best acting, like I think about like Toni Collette's performance in Hereditary, and I'm
God,
like,
yeah.
that should have been an Oscar nomination.
true
Definitely.
horror is a difficult thing to act.
It
in. I
is.
also
No one
think-
takes it serious. Midsummer. Florence Pugh, she was nominated the same year for Little Women, which like
Yeah.
fine,
Oh.
but like
Wow.
yeah, but I was like, duh, her acting in Midsummer was like
Yeah.
was insane.
It was, and I've never seen Little Women, but I would assume
But
that her
she
acting
was
in
good in
Midsommar
that,
was,
but I was like-
outstanding.
And
Yeah,
here's
but
the thing:
Midsommar.
is there is significant value in horror stories because I feel like if you go back to the beginning of humanity, we've all been telling stories about things forever.
Yeah.
The first things we always will tell stories about is horror
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like how you learn about the world around you, how you like learn how to protect yourself, etc.
Yeah.
And there is huge value in horror, but people devalue it because it's like, oh, the
It's
fake
like
blood,
it's
and they're
the
like
same way
whatever.
that people devalue comedies because
Yeah.
horror invokes the same reaction as a comedy.
Yeah.
And so I think
And I would
like,
say those are the two most valuable like
Yeah.
storytelling things.
yes, but you never see them get nominations, or it's very rare. It's
Put us
definitely
on the voting committee.
definitely rare for horror. I think that
Yeah.
all the time. I'm like, put me on the voting committee because so many things are overlooked.
I think we should do the Oscars how we do America's Got Talent, where it's like we just
People
vote on our
phone
phones.
in. Yeah.
Why not? I would love to know the answers.
I know. I'm curious.
That's the real.
Because let me tell you, these Golden Globe wins would have gone a different way.
Interesting. Okay.
We'll get
Very
into that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Let's
Do we
get
have
it. I think, should we move on to our next movie? Have we
Well,
said
gotta
enough
do
about?
Question of the week.
Oh yes.
Oh, do it, yeah.
We did do question
Yeah.
of the week.
and then
So-
we'll talk about Timmy Chalamet.
So again,
My boy
please
Tim.
follow.
Who
the-
I put. Well, actually, I'll tell this when we get.
Okay.
I'll put this.
Yeah, so we did. Oh, I just saw your post too, Megan. Sorry. We did post a question of the week, which please follow at Poppin In Podcast to see our questions of the week every week. You can answer them, maybe get a little shout out on the podcast. Please follow,
like, subscribe, and then do it like with the podcast. Really show us some sort of love because we love you all.
Yeah, and we do this
and we
for
can't
you.
love ourselves without you.
And if you don't support my girls, I'm coming for you.
Thank you.
So do we want to do our answers or do we want to do the audience?
Let's do ours first.
Okay,
what
so
was the
our question was, what's your favorite vampire movie, TV show content?
Yeah. Okay. I also, counter question, why do you think, like, as a society, we're so fascinated by vampirism?
Because I think everybody thinks it's hot.
I'm just
gonna
there's
say.
something, though, I think it's the lust. Like,
Yes,
I think
exactly,
there
yeah.
is a hidden
The
lust for
sucking?
the
Yes.
unknown. The sucking? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something
Hey.
overtly sexual about it. It's, like, literally your...
Yes.
Anyways.
It's the same. Well, just the same reason Ellen is like where it's like this darkness within you.
Yeah.
That you haven't been able to experience in your everyday life because you have a different personality. So it's like you are trying to figure out like what it is that's keeping you from being able to release your inner lust and seduction.
Because I will say there is
inner
something about
ugliness.
the fact that like
Vampire.
there were literal maggots on that man.
Rats
playing
crawling around that coffin. I
Nosferatu.
think.
And I
Close
was
my
still
eyes,
kind of
but I
like,
think.
I mean,
That
yeah, it's a
coffin
little bit
scene
hot.
was-
The coffin scene was horrifying,
Yeah.
but I think, and again, I was gonna say this too, really quickly to wrap it up. They made him ugly because like they were trying to be like, this is her desires are ugly, like that's what her inner.
But was it you guys that told me, like, because I didn't know what to expect. I was like, I literally turned to one of you and I was like, why does he have a mustache? Like,
because that's what a
he's
count
based on,
during
like-
that time period would have looked like.
Or
They would
like
have had that big mustache.
Yeah,
his head would
I
have
didn't
been
know
shaved
that.
like
Because
that.
I thought they were gonna make him look completely shaven and bald. Like,
Well,
you
have
know.
you seen you've seen what the original Nosferatu looks
Exactly.
like? I mean, he's like just a little monster freak. Like he's not even.
And that's kind of what I thought. And I was like, oh, but he actually does look terrifying once you get past the thick mustache. Which is really creepy.
mustache is
Liked it.
also scary. If you
No,
like
it
see a
is.
mustache like that on a man, it's
I just
like
didn't
you
expect
know that
it. And the
question where
blood
it's like
dripping from it. Okay, I'm done.
in 2024 question of the year, it's like you encounter a man or a bear in the woods. I'm like, well, does a man
Does
have
he
a
have a
mustache
mustache?
like that?
Yeah.
Then that's gonna really
Matthew.
influence my answer. Calm. Anyway, so what's your
Happy
answer?
to say Matthew is trying to grow back his mustache, so let's
Aw.
all
Oh, sorry.
everybody
pour one
hop
out.
on and
Pour one
thing
out
is,
for the
it's
mustache.
Just can you grow a beard?
no. So he grows a goatee, and it's making me. I don't want to get into it, but
I'm
it's a
just
whole
here to
thing.
say,
It's a fight every day.
I
Every
would
day.
make the best man. Do you know the facial hair? Like I would.
Oh,
really
we've seen.
outshine...
I think we've seen your man, like your AI thing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I saw your baby picture, and you were like, I'm a beast of a woman.
I'm sorry. No, it's
No.
so
No, because what she says.
People are gonna
not me. I
imagine
don't think so.
a
But
little-
she'll tell people that she's like, look at all the hair on this, and I'm like, what hair?
People are
You're
gonna
just like,
imagine
baby.
like a baby bearded woman,
that one
See,
photo.
I don't see it.
which
You're
is
like, look at-
inaccurate.
You're like, look at this
sorry.
hairy baby, and I'm like, what? Like, it's just a baby.
There is one photo of you as a little toddler. It is so cute. It's
Aw.
like you being like, you're making this like one face, and it's like you're
it the
trying to
chaotic
look
Judy?
chaotic Judy. Yeah, and I say that you look like the little girl from. I'm not saying you're this, but like you look like the little girl from Dave the Barbarian because she goes, the one who was like not a monkey because she's like this little like.
Oh yes,
You know,
One
like
time,
it's very, it's so
I
cute.
literally spent like 3 hours watching Dave the Barbarian episodes like a few months ago. Like I stayed up till 2 a.m. and I was just like, wow, what a show.
What a show. Okay. What's your favorite vampire movie TV show?
Okay, who wants to go first?
Megan, you're our guest. I almost said
Or do we
host.
want to do this like when you're ordering at a restaurant? Do you want to go last?
I can go now.
Give me time to-
Oh, right. You didn't have, okay, you don't have one.
No, I mean, I think, honestly, I mean, mine's probably going to be, like, simplified, really, because
You
as
can't
guys
say
know,
Nosferatu.
Oh, I don't have one then.
You don't have an original vampire that you, like,
what?
love?
So,
Oh, your face was
so what was the question?
Like, what's your favorite vampire movie, TV show content? Like, what's your favorite? I guess I'm asking character. Most people said a character, but
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Character-wise, I am not a Twilight stan anymore.
Okay.
I have always liked, oh my gosh, what's the Kellen Lutz's character's name?
Oh, you would like Emmett.
Emmett? Yeah, I was going to say Emery.
Did you say Emmett?
I was going to say Emery, but it's Emmett.
I have a feeling you guys thought I was going to say Jasper for some
I was a
reason.
little worried.
And
I
I was
got nervous.
like,
I
no,
know
you wouldn't like Jasper.
You wouldn't like
I'm like,
Jasper.
you're not a Jasper
I
boy.
liked when I was
He's
in
a
middle school.
former
I
Confederate
loved
general,
Jasper.
like,
Oh.
no, I'm
not
good.
that part, but I did love Jasper. Like just
Yeah.
because his eyes are so crazy.
I thought
he has Obi's
he
eyes.
definitely has TMJ. It's like total something lockjaw.
Did you
thing.
hear that?
What?
I don't know if that's what he was laughing at, but it was funny.
He
It was
like
good
never
timing.
moved. He was just like
He
the
was
whole
crazy. He
movie.
was. I loved Jasper,
Which is how I
except for the
imagine
Confederate
Friend
part.
of the pod,
Yeah.
Tanya sleeps at night. Just
What?
She has TMJ. That's how I know the
Oh.
term.
I just
Love you.
think
Aw.
Anyways, back to vampires.
I
Love
just
you.
Yeah.
think, like, again, because I don't watch, like, I mean, there's a lot of shows out there. There's True Blood. There's, like, What We Do in the Shadows. Like, I don't watch those. I never have. I don't know. Like, I didn't know we couldn't
so
say
What if
excited.
Megan's
Nosferatu.
like, this is my first vampire
excited.
content.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. That's the idea I'm getting right
Okay.
now.
I just think so. I
Twilight
mean, if I
is
thought back
obviously-
to it, like, okay, Twilight was very much a big part of, like, my high school, like, just the high school experience of, like, that whole, like, kind of romanticized vampire human love story, whatever. I'm not a Twilight stan these days, but I was always attracted to Emmett's character because he's like a big like
Yeah,
bear hunt.
see, that's
He
like
saved
your.
Rosalie.
That makes sense.
That's-
He
Yeah.
saved Rosalie from being attacked by. See, I do know a lot about Twilight.
See, like Edward is like to this day, I'm in love with Edward. You know what I mean?
But you love Robert Pattinson.
Exactly.
If anyone
That
else
plays a
played
factor,
Edward, do you
sure.
think you would still
I don't know
love
because
Edward?
when I read Twilight and I
I'm also in love with
and I
Edward
read
in
Midnight
its
Sun, I don't know if I was
Team
even
Jacob.
picturing. Yeah, you would be Team Jacob.
would be, yeah.
I
would be.
but I don't know if I was even picturing Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I could see that.
But obviously, yes, I am obsessed with Robert Pattinson. We know
Yeah.
this.
But I think Twilight is my Roman Empire. I think about it every, like, it was really formative to my
Yeah.
things. But that's not my answer. Continue.
Yeah, mine was like probably least interesting. So go.
it really wasn't an answer, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, Emmett. We'll
So-
say Emmett. We'll say
Yeah,
Emmett.
yeah, Emmett. Yeah,
Okay.
Emmett. If we're picking character wise, but like in terms of like
Twilight
movie
is
show,
probably
Yeah.
yours. It is, because what else? You
I
can't say
guess
Nosferatu.
I guess I have to say that. I'm embarrassed.
Aw, it's okay. Most
okay.
people. We didn't get any other Twilight answers, so you can say Twilight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Do you want to go or you want
to
to go?
hear from me again?
You can go.
Mine is 30 Days of Night.
We did get an answer. of
I
that.
think, like, and that's not like a character. It came out, like, I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's basically, I think it takes place in Alaska, and it's basically, like, you know how, like, Alaska, like, they'll have, like, a month of darkness, and it's, like, during that month, it's, like, when
I've
the
never seen
vampires
this.
come out, and it's really scary. You would like it. You would like it. Put it on the list of things that I'm
I
going to tell
will.
you to watch that you'll
I
never
think I
watch.
should
in
do
your
That's
I-
life.
not true.
I
I'm
actually
literally
haven't-
in the middle of Ted Lasso. Right
Oh my
now.
god, should we have a movie night later this week?
Yeah, I was like, not tonight.
Yeah.
That's, I got
we've
get the
already.
I have to get the
yeah.
baby home before the snow. But the baby, I mean Molly. I have to.
Well, it's
leave
been
before
snowing
the
for, like,
snow.
2 hours, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, are we gonna be okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So 30 Days of Night, I want to see that because it does sound
Literally
really
on
good.
You would like it. You would like
Yes.
it, yeah.
Okay, so are you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are not expecting this. You probably thought I was gonna say Twilight.
No, I have a feeling I know what it is. But continue.
What? I'm curious.
I'm gonna make the letter.
I'm gonna.
Ooh,
Alright,
now- so
what
you
is
gave me
that?
one,
I didn't even
and-
hear it.
Did you
That's
hear what
okay.
I said?
No, hold on real quick. This is fun. Okay.
But I don't think that's
You
not
didn't
even
hear us,
about
did you?
vampires.
No.
So
Okay, say it.
I feel
No,
like I
it's
just
not.
heard you say bodies, bodies, bodies.
just say what you're gonna say.
Did you say bodies, bodies, bodies?
Just say what you're
I
gonna
didn't
say.
like that movie. If that's what it was. Okay, sorry. Okay, no, it's Roman Godfrey from Hemlock Grove.
Mine was not correct.
I knew you guys wouldn't
I
know. Played by
did-
Bill Skarsgård.
I did
So
say
Bill Skarsgård-
Abigail for the record. I thought
Oh.
it was gonna be Abigail.
No,
Well, I,
I
literally
liked
was
that movie though.
whispering
That was
to
a good
Megan
movie.
as softly as possible, like bodies, bodies, bodies. But
What?
now that's not even about vampires.
No, it's like
zombies.
no, it's not. It's like these kids are in a hurricane.
It was
party
literally
and
the
they-
dumbest movie I've ever seen.
It was
in my
not.
life.
I
That's
real-
not what I'm thinking.
I really
of.
did not
I'm
like that
thinking of-
movie.
I think Nicholas
Warm
Hoult
Bodies.
Warm Bodies.
And that was he was a zombie. Yeah,
That's what you're thinking of. That's
Unfortunate.
okay, buddy. That's okay.
a
Zombies.
good movie.
Zombies will be next time.
Nicholas Hoult. That was the first thing I saw.
Wait,
Nicholas
seriously?
Hoult in.
He's in that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Warm Bodies. Yeah,
He's in a lot of things.
It was like Romeo
Is
and
that him?
Juliet.
Is he the character?
He is in a lot of things. He was in Juror Number 2.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
So, okay, Hemlock Grove, for those who haven't seen it, I am an OG Bill Skarsgård fan, okay? This is pre-it.
I would give her that.
This is pre-it. It was not a great show. I'm just going to put this out there. The show, the first, like, few episodes maybe were good, but I was obsessed with it because he was so hot in it. He was so
Okay.
hot. He played a vampire. Okay, don't look at that. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing of it.
That's
he was
going on the Instagram.
Is there a remake?
he was so hot. It was him, and he was a werewolf. So it was literally a werewolf and a vampire. Sorry, I didn't mean to touch your screen.
and
it was like a
vampire.
I
it
kind
was
of
like-
want to watch this.
It was, you might like it. Okay, it's not good if you continue it, like, but I just really liked the first season.
Okay.
And he played a vampire.
Oh.
Yeah, and his,
This is strange, but whenever you guys Google images and it's like the little eye crossed out.
it's never
you're like-
bad.
It's never bad, but also I'm immediately like, show me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
View image.
Oh, that one is kind of bad actually.
It's not that bad.
But he's a werewolf. It's like really shitty actually now that I'm looking at it. But
Okay, I'll probably give it a watch. Maybe.
Yeah,
I
that's
was in.
interesting.
I love Bill Skarsgård, and that was pre it. So
Wow.
I'm just gonna say I am an OG.
She is an OG
Wow.
stan.
What other responses did we get?
So we did. So Matt Chambers said 30 Days of Night.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yes.
that was really loud clap.
Friend of the
Otherwise,
pod.
that's gonna hurt.
Shout out to Speed Quizzing.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yes. Shout out to Speed Quizzing.
Also, if he listens to
If
this,
you're listening,
I want to say I apologize for every time you give us a shout out at trivia and I don't hear it. I am so oblivious.
that
he do
too?
be shouting y'all out quite a bit.
that
And Chris
too.
will always be like, he said your name, and I'm like, what?
You're
that
Poppin
too.
In podcast,
And
and then they're
also,
like, what? in the world?
Informal request. Come onto the pod.
Yeah,
we'll ask you in person too.
Yeah,
but
we'll do a formal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Priscilla said What We Do in the Shadows,
okay.
Okay.
which I've seen the movie. I love the movie.
There's
Okay.
a movie.
Yeah, it's based on a movie.
I didn't know that.
Taika
But both of you
Waititi.
have said that I
The
won't
movie's
like it,
funny.
so.
It's a mockumentary style movie. It's just like funny and it's
cool.
very much a cult classic. Then they made a
Yeah.
TV show out of it, and now the TV show is very much like a fandom type show.
People love it.
People
Sorry,
love
Steven,
it.
I
I've
think
never
you would
watched
Well,
like
it
it,
is
Molly.
very much. I think so too. I've wanted to watch it.
I don't think you will like it, Megan.
No,
I've said
Steven
that.
has been telling me. Sorry, Steven has been telling me to watch it for so long. If he watched House of
I
the
wanna
Dragon,
watch it.
And
I
I'm
was
here to
supposed watch it, and
say,
I said no.
I know Megan very well. I
Yep.
know she would not like that show. She wouldn't.
It's so easy. Anytime somebody recommends something to me, I always just come to either one of you guys and like, you guys, what do you think? And you're like, I don't think so. I don't think you'll like it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
you're saving me time.
Yeah. And then I'm shocked none of us said this one. Tanya said Vampire Diaries Team Damon for life. And I love
Is that
Damon.
Ian
Yes.
Is that Ian
I
Somerhalder?
love Damon.
I take it all
Ooh.
back, and I
I
agree.
know. No, I
The
know.
amount that
Tanya.
I read those books, I rewatched the show recently. I follow Nina Dobrev. I tried to be her in high school. I would like literally sit there in my English class like journaling.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like,
you kind of
someone-
look like her.
yeah,
Some-
you
oh
can
my
eat a Dobrev.
Look at this weird hair.
You should be her
I've
for Halloween
I've
one
been-
year.
Okay, Molly, I've been trying to get someone to say that to me for about 16 years. So thank you.
You're welcome. I swear I've told you that before, though.
I think she's gonna
Wow,
cry.
this
I
is
think
maybe
she's
the
gonna
greatest
cry.
day of her
Yeah,
life.
this is
You're like,
actually-
I've never seen so much joy out of her face.
I
But
literally
yeah.
like would do like a journal and I'd be like, these are my vampire diaries. If I start journaling, I will attract a vampire.
I could see that.
It didn't work.
I could
That's-
see
maybe
every
one day.
every bit of that.
Maybe
I could
one day.
see.
Maybe one day.
And then my friend Caitlin from literally kindergarten, shout out Caitlin, said Dracula with Luke Evans.
Oh,
Is that the like Bram Stoker's Dracula?
No,
Oh.
that's the one with Gary Oldman.
yeah.
Which I think
Interesting.
I saw that one a long time ago. I've never seen this Luke Evans one, but I like Luke Evans, so I would watch that. So those are all our answers,
Well,
but
thank you everyone for
yeah,
replying.
thanks for
And again,
replying.
if you want to answer our question of the week, follow us at Poppin In Podcast.
I think we got some good answers though.
Yeah.
So that was a fun little exercise.
Do we want to dive into the other big holiday movie?
Yes.
We do.
But first, should we refill?
Sure.
Megan has
We
brought
have been
some,
slowly refilling this whole time, but yeah.
some wine.
I know. I had to stop
really
myself
filled
because I was
this
like,
up.
oh, I gotta wait.
It's a, what is
me?
it called?
This is a rosé of Pinot Noir by Paula Rock.
Okay, earlier I thought it was Paula Rock. And
Me too. I almost said Paula.
My literal first thought was, wow, that should be a Yellowstone character.
Paula.
Paula Rock.
Hey, if y'all want to talk about Yellowstone,
I don't.
We can.
No.
I am so anti that show.
I know,
I
it's
saw
fine.
a scene from it and I was like, this can't be real. I'm not trying to be rude, Megan. And by
you're-
the way,
again, you are-
Beth,
you're not offending
her
me at
name,
all.
her
I can put more
the
in there.
character's name is Beth, I believe.
Beth, yeah.
The actress who plays her
Kelly Riley.
is really good.
She was in Pride and Prejudice.
yeah, she's great, and so it's always
Kelly
shocking.
Riley. Oh, she was because I
yeah,
called that
she's
out. I was like,
British.
Played
Yeah,
Caroline Bingley.
yes, and
She
so
is
it's
British.
always really shocking to me that she's on that show because like the show it had Bella Hadid in the scene.
Don't get me
Taylor,
started.
what's his name?
Taylor
Taylor
Sheridan.
Sheridan
Don't get me
is the
started.
most self-indulgent
Do not get me
person.
started.
He
Bella
played a
did not need
character
to be in there.
too, and he was a character, and he was
Buddy,
like,
give me your.
he goes, well, it's really hard to find an actor who can ride a horse, so I just casted myself,
Yeah.
and I was like,
He's very self-centered.
I feel like a lot of actors ride a horse again.
Yes,
you need
a
to
lot
watch
of
the other
actors.
two because you'll get like a
yeah,
vibe of that.
but
They
also
don't
like
really
he's
do
not. I just was like, you don't need to cast yourself, and you can tell he knows he's hot, like he thinks he's hot.
Is riding a horse hard? I've never done it.
It's
To
a little
me-
intimidating.
I
depends
could
on
now.
the size.
I
As
could,
someone
I
who's
could
ridden
go
a
on about
horse.
this for a while, so I probably best not. But
Why didn't you ask me?
because I am as a former horse girl, learning how to ride a horse is
Yes.
hard.
For those who don't know, listeners,
Yes.
Megan is a former horse girl. She used to
Yes.
ride horses.
The way
And
you said it, it was
show,
about to be
yes.
like, Megan is a
Megan is a whore.
girl.
girl.
You are a horse, I think, because they're also very afraid of rats.
Imagine looking at your friend and telling her she is a horse. Because I thought you were going to say you are a horse girl, and I was about to get pissed. And then you looked at me and said, you're a horse, I think. And I literally want to die. I am not... What do you mean I'm a horse? They are spooked by things.
No, I'm
Yes.
actually.
Well,
maybe I am a horse,
majestic,
actually.
They're elegant.
No,
they're
she's
very
like
like put
cute.
together.
She's a cute, dainty
But
pink
also,
pony.
you put a
Megan doesn't ride me.
put a fat rat in front of them, and they're gonna lose their
Ew.
mind.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
is
like
me.
that you said fat rat.
Yeah, I didn't
okay?
like that either.
Okay, talk
Okay,
about
speaking
Timmy-
of little rats,
so-
posing at my feet,
Talk about our favorite,
skittering.
Molly's favorite rat boy.
Are you comparing my dog to a cat?
Timothy Chalamet.
I mean, a rat.
No,
In the hat?
just kind of the way she was like skittering at my feet,
Yeah, I
though.
felt it, too. It was
felt
like-
like it's because we were talking about rats, so I got scared. Okay. Hello,
She had
I'm Poe.
nothing to say.
That was her voice. That was her speaking.
I always hear her voice like, I don't know.
She has a higher pitched voice than that.
Maybe.
That's funny.
Anyways, I will cut that. Okay.
No, don't.
Okay, we're done. I want
Okay, we gotta go. We gotta go. Though.
Okay, yes.
All right.
Okay, so
All right, we
the
got-
other
still have,
big
like, 8
holiday
topics.
film that I'm so excited to talk about. I was listening to podcasts about it. I'm so excited. This is a complete unknown with Timothy Chalamet, who I also started playing Sims free play on my
Okay,
phone.
this is terrifying, you guys.
I added,
No, this actually scared me.
I added Timmy
Not gonna lie.
Chevrolet to my Sims town, and he is now married to a Sim called Poe Puppy. Who I need
Okay,
to
that
clarify.
alone is so
Do I
disturbing
need
to me.
to clarify?
She's
Chevrolet?
into puppy play.
I made a Sim. I named it after my dog, and I made it marry Timothy Chalamet.
Well, she was like,
Timothy
it's
I
not.
don't think it's that weird.
She was like, it's not a dog, it's a human. And I said, well, her name is Poe Puppy, so she's
there's also Misty Kitty.
Is she a human?
Yeah.
Why are you Why? That's so weird.
Chris and I had the same conversation the other day because I was like, oh, I put Poe and Misty in my city. And he was like, oh, like the Sims have pets? And I said, no, they're people.
What, so why is her name Poe Puppy? That sounds so. You know what I'm saying, right?
Well, she had to have a last name.
Also,
I
Timothy
wanna-
Chalamet is with Kylie Jenner, so why isn't Kylie Jenner in
I have
it?
I
thoughts
want to
on
say
that.
I didn't make these names or these characters with this intention, but once
Kylie
they were
Puppy.
in my Sim city, I was like, let's go wild.
Poe Jenner.
I want to respect Timothy
Poe wants a
Chalamet
divorce.
real quick, and then he started dating Kylie Jenner, and I can't stand the Jenners, so.
So here's
Or the
oh my
Kardashians.
god! I was like, where are you putting her? Ow!
Sorry. What do you think they talk?
I don't know, Alexa.
What do you
I
think
think
they
about
talk
this
about?
constantly. What do they talk about? Timothy and Kylie.
Okay, see?
Oh my god, girl.
Okay, Alexa, okay.
Alexa,
podcast.
it's all good. Okay, I'm really hot.
I don't know. And like, I
dying.
want to reiterate, like, I'm not like attracted to Timothy Chalamet. I'm not,
I am.
Where I'm like,
Officially.
oh my god, like, I want to like, I just think he is so good on screen. Like, I want to be him.
I sometimes
Okay.
can I say something
I
controversial?
want that jawline.
Okay.
I think he looks like sometimes I'm like I hate saying this, you guys. I really hate saying this. That scares me when the door cracks open. I don't find him attractive at all. He does look a little bit rat-like.
He
Truly.
I don't find him attractive at all either. I just think
But
he
there's
has
You
a
want
something
his
about-
jawline? I don't want his
There's something
jawline.
about
he has a
his-
face I
his-
want to paint.
He did look good in Little Women. That was the only time I was ever like
See, I should
attracted
probably
to
see
him.
that, but I don't know if I
Lori.
like it.
Lori. Oh, what does he say? Whatever. I don't feel like doing the whole monologue.
Okay, so here's what I have to say. Okay, so as someone who didn't originally want to see A Complete Unknown, and then you ended up seeing it because your parents essentially shamed you, which props to them.
And
as
also,
they
you guys
should've.
were like going to see it together.
I told
and
you the vibes.
It's not really like I don't get FOMO, but I didn't like that you guys were seeing a movie together.
Whereas me, on the
Which
other
you guys
hand,
have done.
whereas
You
me
didn't
on the
feel
other
like that
hand,
when we saw it.
you
Enter
guys,
the-
Absolutely
oh yeah.
not.
Whereas me on the other hand, you guys go and see Dune, and I'm like, you guys go have fun.
Oh,
Anyways.
Dune. You would like Dune. So the
I
difference,
saw the sandworm
though,
scene.
What
That was good.
the difference is? A Complete Unknown I knew was like an Oscar,
Yeah.
gonna be an Oscar movie. So I was like, let me just go
True.
see it.
But I'm curious as someone who wasn't that interested. You don't really like, you're not that interested in Bob Dylan though.
Nope.
But like, what thoughts? Walking away, what did you think?
Yeah, so thoughts. So again, I don't like biopics. I really find them just boring at this point. It was a very straightforward biopic, and I'm not a Bob Dylan person. However, I don't know why I'm not a Bob Dylan person because I love
I'm
folk.
really not either,
I love
to be
folk
honest.
music.
Yeah.
And I thought the music was beautiful. Like I literally cried twice during that movie. Like it was so just I found the music to be so moving.
Like which songs?
Like when he was first singing to Woody, who was that supposed to
Woody
be?
Guthrie.
Woody
Yeah.
Guthrie.
Oh, in the
So Woody
hospital.
Guthrie. I mean, this isn't a spoiler. He's dying in the very beginning, and the whole
None
thing
of these
is
are spoilers.
Yeah,
so
this
it's
is
like
Bob
literally
Dylan's
it's
life.
literally his life. But the whole thing is like, because he's a very mysterious person. He doesn't want people to know who he is. So that's why it's kind of interesting that they made a biopic of him, and you really can't come away with it still not knowing who he is.
Yeah.
And so
A
that's why I
complete
love the
unknown.
name of it, a complete
Yeah.
unknown. But also, so he at the beginning he like really loves Woody Guthrie, and he's dying, and that's how he meets Edward Norton's character, who he plays. Who?
He's
plays,
he's built not
Pete
Bob
Seeger.
Seeger, Pete Seeger.
Pete Seeger. And he plays a song for him, I guess the song he wrote for Woody, and it just like moved me. There was another song that also, probably the main one. What's the main one that he sings?
Blowing
Rain.
in the Wind?
It's the lyrics with
No,
a
the
complete
rain.
unknown in it.
The Rain one. What's no?
Oh, A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall?
was it that one? What's
A
the
hard
main?
rain's
Was he
gonna
performing
fall.
at the festival?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I
It's
don't remember.
another part made me emotional. Also made me really want to go to Newport.
Yeah, okay, I want to go to Newport, Rhode Island.
Yes.
Real bad.
So bad.
Anyways.
Yeah, because yeah, okay.
But so I also cried at one point, and it was actually surprisingly when the character Joan Baez.
Yeah, Baez.
Baez, sorry,
voice-
thank you. When she first comes on the screen,
Yes.
she's singing House of the Rising Sun.
Yes.
It is crazy. And so the actress who played her is
a complete
Monica
unknown.
Barbaro, and she had to learn, she not only had to learn how to sing, how to learn how to sing like Joan.
She didn't know.
Baez.
I thought they
And-
hired her because she sang like
No,
that.
no, she had to learn how to sing.
And she wore
Are you
she wore a
joking
mouth
me?
she wore fake teeth, and she wore a mouthpiece fake teeth to
Yeah.
look like Joan Baez's
No
teeth.
way she didn't sing already. She
No, I
had the most beautiful voice I've like ever heard.
I'm pretty sure she had to learn how to sing, but this movie was in production for so long. So Timothy Chalamet spent 5 years learning how to play the guitar.
Very
so it's like,
impressive.
that's why it's actually him playing the guitar in the scenes. And I was listening to I was reading a review earlier where they're basically like, yeah, it's like kind of like one long music video, and it's probably because they started like filming and stuff, and they were like, oh,
Yeah.
these kids are talented. Let's like do this.
Nikki
you know?
Glazer did make a funny joke at the Golden Globes because she hosted the Golden Globes last night, and she
I
made
need
a
to watch
funny
that.
joke. She was talking about Timothy Chalamet playing Bob Dylan, and she was like, "And you sounded just like him. Like you had."
I'm gonna give one.
She was like, "You sounded." Even Bob Dylan said like how much you sounded like him. Like you had such a terrible voice because like
Oh
everybody
my
thinks-
God.
But no, I mean really like he did sound really
I
good.
think he's definitely gonna be nominated for like
He
Yeah,
should.
he-
yeah.
he
Best
will
actor
be.
for sure.
I think
should
he
be.
will
As of-
win. If he wins, he'll be the youngest person.
We'll
Who's
talk about it. We'll
who's
talk
up
about it.
against?
Adrian Brody,
For what?
the brutalist, he won. That's why I don't know.
Oh, you mean like youngest person ever? I mean, who
What?
who would he be up against
No.
in that category for like best actor?
That's what I just said.
She said
Adrian
it.
Brody.
Oh, The Brutalist. Oh, because
She's
Adrian
saying he
Brody
won
also
at the-
won for what's that piano movie?
The pianist.
Wait, what are you asking?
the
I'm
pianist.
The pianist.
The Adrian
Wait,
Brody,
what are you asking? I'm
Adrian
confused.
Brody is the youngest person, I believe, to have won Best Actor for The Pianist years ago.
Sorry. Is that true?
I'm pretty
I have
sure.
no idea. That movie is devastating, so don't ever ask me to watch it again, ever.
Oh my god.
Ever.
When they
Go
throw
ahead.
that man up.
Yeah,
the wall.
I had to watch it in Holocaust
Adrian
class.
Brody, he
How old
won
was
at
he?
29.
29 is not
He was
even that
29.
young.
It was literally 22 days before his
It's not
30th
that impressive.
birthday.
Just kidding.
It was for
Should
The
have been Leo
Pianist.
DiCaprio, but
So,
that's fine.
Timothy Chalamet, I
Actually,
believe, is
yeah.
28. Kill me.
Don't
and
kill
he
me.
is.
Go over here.
Yeah, he's
29.
29. But I think it counts on like when maybe like you made the film, which he would have been 28. So then he would beat out at Adrian Brody, I think, for youngest actor to win. I think he should win. The way he had to learn guitar, he had to learn to sing and talk like Bob Dylan, and the way he like literally, I was saying like the way he literally like holds his cigarette and the way he like talks with his cigarette. It is, he became.
I would
Bob
agree with that.
Dylan.
He did. I did come away from this movie. I'm sorry, Megan, I cut you off.
Nope, you're
and
good.
you are our guest. You speak.
Yeah.
Speak.
I feel like we've been cutting you off.
I know.
This
I'm
is an
so
episode
sorry.
featuring Megan.
Megan's
in
just like
case you-
off in the corner. Like I feel so bad. Megan, get in on here. Get in here.
We don't
I'm
speak for a
just
whole
in,
5 minutes.
Listen,
Challenge hard
Impossible.
edition.
Impossible.
Impossible edition.
Listen, this is just a conversation. I'm good. I'm chilling. But all I was gonna say is, as a biopic stan, I know Molly is not. I think it's very fascinating to see. It's not even just the fact that like we're looking at biopics of like Freddie Mercury or like Elvis or whatever. It's not just about like the fandom. It's how much work the actors are putting in to become these people.
And I'll be honest,
I think it's fascinating.
5 minutes are not up.
Timothy Chalamet didn't have an ass to begin with, but he worked it off. You know what I mean? He worked his ass off.
I was like, he didn't have one in this movie. He was still
this role.
His bony little Tim Burton character self.
He deserves to win. And I will say, I'm obviously a Timothy Chalamet stan. I think he is the greatest, if not one of the greatest actors of our generation.
Can I say something?
I actually
think he's very overrated. I'm just going to say that. I know that's crazy. It is such an unpopular opinion. I know that. I think he's a great actor. Do not get me wrong. I think he is just a little bit overrated.
Scram!
But,
Get out of here!
Stop. Please hear me out.
I just don't know what all he's in.
So in Call Me By Your Name, that was some phenomenal.
He was in that Peach.
He was so great in that movie. Like, so great. So that's the last time I ever, and I'll end this movie as well, where I was like, yes, amazing. But when I see him in other things, I just feel like he kind of just like is not super emotional. Like, I just think he's just a tad bit overrated, just a tad. I do think he is a little bit. I think there's better actors.
I would agree with that. Better actors in general?
Who?
Yeah.
I could name so many of our generation.
Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. He's not really our generation. He is. I don't know. I don't know what our generation. I don't know.
Okay, hear me out.
I think Austin Butler's a phenomenal actor.
I don't have an answer to that question.
I think Josh O'Connor's a phenomenal actor. Like, I could name so many people that I feel like are like. I don't think Austin Butler's underrated, but like, just I feel like Timothy Chalamet gets just like sucked off so much, and I'm just like, he's kind of
little
right.
Vampiric. I just made that a word.
But right, like, don't you? I don't know.
I think we need to see him in more things to actually be able to form a case that this kid.
Okay,
sorry,
and
that's
it's
like
truly about personality too. People love his personality, and that's a big part of it.
This is a man who can go from tell me by your name, to Little Women, to Wonka. Shout out Little Emily.
Much range.
To
I don't think
Dune,
it's that crazy of a
Bob
Dune.
Dylan.
Okay, let me say something about Dune.
College Game
Alexa,
Day.
Okay. No, okay. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I love Dune. You know this. I do not think his acting in Dune is anything. Maybe when he gives that speech. When he gives that speech, it is pretty like, oh. But when he's in Dune, he kind of just like mutters everything. I just don't really think his acting is that great in that movie.
But I think that is the character.
That's fine. That's fine.
That is Paul Atreides.
I don't, but what I'm saying is
Dune.
he doesn't like... He does not stand out to me as this like amazing actor.
This is the end of the podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I have a question.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Our guest. Yes.
Sorry. We're so annoying.
You're fine. I just have a question because I've never seen Dune, but I would feel like for that type of movie, I feel like his role is almost like overshadowed because the cast is so powerful. So it's not like the Timothy Chalamet show.
It actually isn't, and it's not supposed to be.
Okay, I was just curious because
like,
again, I'm not a Dune.
In terms of, like,
I don't need to watch a movie
But
about
I was just
sandworm.
responding because you were like his range. You were like to Dune, and I'm like, well, he wasn't that great in Dune.
No,
like
fine.
he's fine. Don't get me wrong.
I'm just kidding. Like
I know
have a separate opinion.
because I feel bad saying this because I feel like I'm going to get attacked by all of our fans, all of our rabid listeners.
Not everybody can be Timothy Chalamet.
I think I'm the only one who is like Timothy
No,
Chalamet.
Club-
I'm gonna put him in my
Do you know who
Sim
Club
City and
Chalamet
make him marry
is?
my dog.
Do you know Club Chalamet? You're not a Timothy Chalamet stan unless you know who Club Chalamet is.
I'm trying to really like rein in my psycho-ness about it.
She is like a 40-something-year-old woman who is obsessed with Timothy Chalamet. Like his, I mean, there's something like probably wrong with her. I'm not making a joke. I mean, there's like she's like obsessed with him, and her name is Club Chalamet on Twitter, and so like she's known for being like his biggest fan.
Have they met?
I don't know.
Because I forget who it was. I saw an actor where it was like he was with his biggest fan. And they were, like, answering questions. And it was, like, she got the questions right before him. About, like, everything about him.
What? Was it a young girl? Because it was not...
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not Club Chalamet.
No. But it wasn't Timothy Chalamet. It was some other actor. I can't remember.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about.
Who was it?
I almost want to say it was Austin Butler.
No, I don't think it was Austin Butler.
He's fine.
I just think Austin Butler, like, if you're asking for real, like, that's somebody who, like, to me stands out more as an actor. Like, I think Timothy Chalamet is good. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But I would not sit here and say I just sometimes think he's a little bit overrated.
I think he needs more exposure still. I think he
has a lot of exposure.
I mean, like, he has how many leading roles has he had?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
And that's
Call
why I
Me by Your
say
Name, Wonka, and
Dune.
Oh, he was a leading role in that.
He is the main character.
Yeah. He is the leading
He is Paul
role.
Atreides. She was just saying, like,
He is Lisan El Gaib.
he's overshadowed.
Okay, now y'all are speaking some kind of language that I don't understand. Get that Dune stuff out of here. I'm just kidding.
I love Dune.
This is America.
I love Dune.
We speak English.
They
We
love
speak
Dune.
American. I do love Dune. I just think,
Yeah.
like, again, I would disagree that he's the greatest actor for. Okay, that being said, though,
Okay, back
he
to a
did,
complete unknown.
He
Yeah,
moved
true.
me for sure
Yeah.
in this movie. I thought he was good.
Yeah. And here's the thing, also, like, so I know we came out of it and you were like, Bob Dylan's a real asshole. And the thing is, Bob Dylan does not shy away from that. I don't think the movie shies away from it at all.
No,
and
at all.
No, yeah.
also, like, I was listening to this interview with Timothée Chalamet, and he had a good point where, like, so the whole thing is, like, Elle Fanning plays Sylvie, and it's, like, this kind of love triangle between him and Joan Baez, whatever. Anyways.
Baez, you're right.
And he was like, yeah, he seems like an asshole in that, but you also have to remember, he's, like, 21, 22
Yeah,
years
he
old.
came to
He
New
is
York.
literally, like, a 1960s
like, yeah.
fuckboy.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah, but he's kind of that mysterious, like, I'm a bad boy, like, you don't know who I because he kind of lies about himself, like, you still,
Yeah,
like,
he's
again,
like, oh,
a
I was
complete
raised in a
unknown.
carnival.
You don't know who
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
And so even the people who are dating him are like, I don't really know the real you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
that's
like
been
his
one
girl
of-
Sylvie like says
Yeah,
something
yes.
about it. She's like, I don't even know who you are.
And
Where are
he's
you
that
going?
ti-
What are you doing?
I can't stand when he was like, well, we don't need to know all that. It's all about right now. And I'm like, yeah, I think you need to know her past a little
Yeah.
bit. Like,
Yeah.
that's such a bullshit thing to say.
I think
I couldn't stand him as a person. I really could not.
Yeah, as a person, he sounds horrible, but he also is, like, kind of like a lovable asshole. You know what I mean? Where I think he is literally, like, a genius.
Yeah.
But in a way where it's, like, he knows he is.
Mhm.
And I think, like, even with his relationship with Sylvie, he cares about Sylvie, but he just doesn't have, like, the capacity to do it in kind of, like, a normal, traditional way.
And him and
But-
Joan just had more in common.
Well, they had more in common. They were
so
both-
it was easier
Sorry,
for them
keep
to
spinning.
develop something. But even watching interviews with Joan, I'd watched a couple interviews with Joan Baez lately, and she praises him. She's like,
Oh, they're
my
so friends.
relationship with
Aw.
him is like, and it's like, wow.
She'll always be like, yeah, I love that asshole.
yeah.
You know what
Well,
I mean? Like,
I'm
he's
sure.
like,
yeah.
and they're still friends. And so I think it's one of those things where it's just like, that's him, take it or leave it. And I think it's very like that's a typical artist type of way. I mean, he was like an asshole. Like when he was like, oh, they just want me to play Blowin' in the Wind for the rest of my life. And she's like, yeah, it's what they paid for.
Yeah.
And some of that I do get. Like if I went to a Bob Dylan concert and he didn't play Blowin' in the Wind, I'd be like, what?
And he started doing some new thing. I'd be like,
Yeah.
well, I don't want that. I want the thing that I love about you.
Which is interesting about like biopics, like it's just like I feel like I go in with an understanding of what I'm gonna see based on what it's about, like. You know, like with Bohemian Rhapsody, like I'm a huge Queen fan, so I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. But you're learning things along the way. I remember whispering to you, I was like, Joan. I was like, who's like Joan? Who?
Yeah, I had
like,
no idea who
and
that
I was
was.
like,
I did
oh,
too.
yeah.
She
Kept
sounded
saying
like her
Joni.
too.
And I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, I'm like, we're seeing Joan Baez. And I'm like, oh my god, totally forgot. Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash crossed paths. We're seeing a Johnny Cash in the movie. And I
I'm
was
here
like,
to
this
tell
is
you,
so
Johnny
cool.
Cash. Johnny Cash was the only one I knew from that whole movie.
Yeah,
I didn't know
Pete-
any
I
of the
didn't know
other
I
Pete
will say
people.
if
either.
you're not into folk music, then it's not like you'll still like the
Yeah.
movie, but you won't be like, oh my god.
Well, because
Yeah.
the music is beautiful. I do love folk music, but I don't know the people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not
I didn't know
familiar.
enough of
I
them.
with
also
the singers.
love
at
the
all.
scene. There's like this isn't like a
Artists.
spoiler or anything, but it's like Johnny Cash is like trying to get out of his parking
Oh,
spot, and
that's
he's
so
obviously
funny.
wasted, and he just like backs into a car, forwards into another car, backs into another.
My mom texted me. She was like, because I said, first of all, that was a great Johnny Cash.
It
That was a-
was.
That
Good,
was
yeah.
Boyd. I think his name is Boyd Holbrook. He's really hot.
sure.
I really like him. He's from Justified. He's a
Boyd Holbrook. Yeah.
Yes, I think he's on the show No, not Justified. Sorry, not Justified. Ignore me. He's on the show Narcos, I want to say.
He did play a really good Johnny Cash. But what was interesting during those scenes,
Yeah, he's on
Narcos. Sorry.
during those scenes with Johnny Cash, and it made me think
And the
about
bike riders. Yeah.
it made me think about the Walk the Line biopic about Johnny
I was-
Cash, about all of the
yes.
drug and alcohol issues that he had, and Johnny Cash is very clearly inebriated in that scene because he's
Yeah.
hungover in the morning. I was like, this reminds me of all the shit, and then he makes references to June in A Complete
yeah.
Unknown. He's like, June's out of town or whatever, and I'm like,
I-
oh my gosh, like thinking
But
about all of these
I
things.
love Walk the Line. It's I was
Yes.
gonna ask you guys what your favorite biopic is, and I'm just gonna say mine
That's
is
a good
Walk the
question of
Line.
the week.
And I love Rocket Man, but I do love Walk the Line because I think and I think Joaquin Phoenix is amazing. Like I used to listen to the
Great movie.
soundtrack probably more than like actual Johnny Cash. Like I just love that movie. But I actually thought his Johnny Cash was almost like not better, but I just was like, oh, he's a really good Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
I think what my favorite biopic is.
I would have to
I feel
actually
like yours
sit,
is
I would have to
Bohemian
sit down.
Rhapsody.
See, but that's the
No.
thing is no, she meant for me.
her.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. For me, I mean, maybe, but like movie cinema wise, it's not my favorite. Like if I'm looking at a good movie,
Have you
like
guys-
probably Rocket Man.
Here's the
Have
thing.
you guys seen Ray?
No, I haven't.
That one was
with Jamie
I
Foxx?
think about that movie.
I haven't seen that.
So like
Why was I
it,
about to say Jamie Lee Fox?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
I haven't.
Oh my
actually.
gosh, you should watch it. It is.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
First of all, there's scenes in it that really used to scare me as a kid because whatever. I
So
won't get
here's
into it,
what
but
I was thinking of also, like while watching it, and like I do think Timothée Chalamet is one of the greatest actors of our generation. It's debatable, but I think
Wrong. I'm
it's
just
interesting to be one of those
joking.
actors in a biopic, and if his career keeps going as it is, like there will be a biopic made of you one day, most likely. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're.
Who
It's
do you
almost
think
like
who will play Pauline?
his sister. Oh, I mean, I don't. They're not born yet. You know?
Somebody said so.
It'll be when we're like in our 60s, 70s.
So again, he's with Kylie Jenner, but somebody was like, I bet Pauline. Her name is Pauline, right? It's not like Paulette. It's Pauline Chalamet.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pauline. It's the same as my
Pauline.
grandmother.
Oh.
Shout out.
Pauline.
Yeah, she's definitely not listening to this.
Doran.
Yeah.
So somebody said the other day, because again, like Kylie is with Timothy, and so people were like, I bet Kylie and Pauline, like, what do they talk about? I bet they get along so well. They probably love each other. I'm like, no,
No.
there could
No.
not be more not
No.
alike. Like I don't even know her, but I just
I
know.
think him and his sister are close though. But so she's on the Sex Lives of College Girls, which we will go into once I finish the season. But I was texting you. I don't mean to like
forehead. A lot of forehead in that family.
a lot of forehead. Yeah.
Sorry.
Her body
Can you
though.
look this
I don't
person
mean
up?
to.
Look up
I
his
don't.
sister.
Also, Nosferatu, I forgot to say this. Nosferatu, huge for the forehead, for the big forehead community.
Oh God, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, I don't
Pauline.
mean to.
I
What's
love
the
it.
word I'm
I
looking
love their
for?
foreheads.
Wait, she looks so familiar.
She's probably because she looks like Timothy Chalamet with a
She
wig
does,
on.
but she's in something. She's in something.
She's on Sex Lives
I've
of
never seen that
College.
show.
I don't mean to sexualize her,
She's
but
in
she is one
something.
of the hottest people. Like her body is insane.
Can you go look at her filmography for a second? Because it's gonna bother me. Actually, I'll look at it myself.
Okay.
No, you scroll down. Actually, I need to look it up.
Do you think, is she technically a Nepo baby?
They both kind of are. Their parents are kind of in.
Oh, I saw King of Staten Island. I didn't
maybe
know she was
it's
in that.
Split
It's not
that I've seen her in.
that kind of split.
It's not Blue Fear.
It's not Agnes.
It's
Ella.
not Evil Seaweed.
Are you sure it's not Agnes at Milan? Oh, because she probably speaks French too.
Ew,
Yeah.
why is she coming up? Scroll down, look.
Can you imagine?
I
She's
said,
like,
oh,
actually-
she probably. They're
Love her,
French.
too.
I'm stupid. I was about to be like, oh, she probably speaks French too. No,
She
they
is
are
so
French.
hot. I like can't get over it. Watching her in that show,
She's
she
pissing
plays
me
like kind
off.
of the nerdy character, and obviously it's the show's called The Sex Lives of College Girls. They have sex a lot, and like she's very hot in an insane way. But anyways, back to A Complete Unknown.
Yes.
So
Sorry.
I just think like I started crying again like when
Yeah.
they did House of the Rising Sun. I was just like, this is amazing.
It was
And it really
beautiful.
I
Yes.
just think like it goes to show like the power of the music. And I think like obviously the timeline maybe doesn't match up sometimes with some of the songs written, but I don't think it needs to. Or like the albums released or whatever.
And I've realized what like truly makes me emotional in things. Like if you want to know, it's probably music. Like I realize that is like if there's just like it's
What-
usually music that moves me.
What movie do you cry at?
do I cry at?
I thought you were about to say Dune. I was like,
No, I was
that's
trying to think. Do
like
like
good
part
movie,
two.
but
I
that's
don't know if Molly
crazy.
cries at movies.
I
have, like, that
wanna
word.
see you
Here's
in
the
a
thing.
music-
There's
Les Mis.
no. The first time I saw it, I
Okay.
bawled, but I haven't
Yeah.
since. Like when I watched it again, I was like, no.
I want to
And
be with you when you watch a musical.
Well,
at
when
a
you
musical.
when you say like what movie do you cry at? Like if a movie made me cry, I'm not probably watching it again. You know what I
Warhorse.
mean? No, that made
that's
you
me.
cry. Lady Bird made any Greta Gerwig movie. I've told you
she's
this
a good-
before.
she's a good
really
for a
makes
cry.
me sob. For some reason, Barbie like really moved me at certain parts. Lady
You're
Bird,
opening a can of worms with this one.
I won't. Lady Bird, I sobbed at, and I didn't stop crying. Like
And here's my
Little
thing.
Women.
I have never
her version.
seen any of those.
Oh, I
Except
get
for Barbie.
okay. I'll say like Little Women because I have watched that multiple times and I have cried.
Yeah.
But like I don't watch movies to cry. Like I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
No.
No.
But I also like we were in Barnes and Noble and they had all those A24 scripts. All three of us were there, and I was like, I think more movie studios really need to get on this, like, because the Barbie script is just like a printed like on crappy whatever paper, but the A24 scripts are like beautiful. It's like the director's like take or whatever, and I'm like, that's what I want for Greta
I want to
Gerwig
collect
films.
them. Yes. Oh yeah, that'd be great. But I want to collect. Like, I want to specifically collect A24 movie scripts because you got me the Midsummer one.
Yeah.
And then I recently bought The Lighthouse. And, like, their scripts are just beautiful.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, it's cool.
You
It's
should
really
get
cool.
this,
really cool.
Fleabag has the scripts. It's called The Scriptures.
I would love that.
It's
I
a
love
hardcover.
Fleabag.
Yeah. I don't know if it's on the same quality as A24. That is tough to get to, but it's phenomenal. But so A Complete Unknown, like, I think it's really interesting, like,
Will we ever talk about this movie?
I think I just, like, Bob Dylan is so unknowable that it is crazy that Timothée Chalamet was able to play him so well. And, like, one of the things that the director, James Mangold, said, he was like, the thing is, I'm not going to have, like, Timothée Chalamet just play a blank slate, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, I'm not going to ask an actor to do that.
Yeah.
And so they basically they went with what they had, where they were like, asshole, there we go.
Well,
and honestly, like, it worked because he's like a lovable, you're like, he sucks, but he's lovable.
And you know what I loved about this biopic? Because this is what I'm kind of tired of them. I just don't really care about biopics. I think they're all
They never just take a break. There's like something else will be coming out within the next year.
I just think they're so boring to me. Like, I'm like, okay, you know, and again, that's why I love Rocket Man, because it was like sort of a different take on it. It was a musical. And I loved that. I loved that it was a musical. But like, that's why I didn't really like Bohemian Rhapsody. I just felt like there wasn't any depth to it. Like, but that's just me. But this one I did think was interesting because they didn't start out from like when he was a child.
Yeah.
They didn't go into his whole life story. It was literally
starts...
a complete unknown. Like, this man, you don't know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
He's just
and
there.
You still kind of don't know. Like, obviously we know now. But, like, throughout, like, you end that film and you're still kind of just like, I don't know who Bob Dylan is.
No,
and that's what he wants.
It takes place within the span of how many years? Like, it's not a super long time
like
span.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
It's basically him becoming famous.
But he became famous so fast, like, pretty quickly. And you could see he was kind of, like, awkward about it. Like, he didn't want to really perform in front of large crowds. He was uncomfortable, but like, you know.
And there's like the whole scene where he like becomes a correspondent to Johnny Cash, and he's like writing on a plane. He's like, yeah, like, so I'd become famous, and like these girls recognize him, and he literally like shifts his position so they can't see him. I know.
I'm like, well, you are in the middle seat.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of, not to make this comparison, but of like Chapel Roan.
I was literally about to make that
she's
comparison.
Like, oh, like fame is so hard, and I'm like, the thing is, it is hard. It is.
Yeah.
You know, like, to go from being a complete unknown, literally, to being like you can't write a letter on a plane without people being like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like he has like his girlfriend. Like, later on, she's not important as his girlfriend for like literally 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh,
and he says she's like, well, I love you, Bob. And he's like, well, we just met, so that's kind of weird, right?
I mean, if they just met, then yeah.
He's like, we don't know each other. And like that's what you're like. That's
but he brought her to a fancy party, and she was probably like, schmoozing with all of like the.
But she loves Bob Dylan. Right. She doesn't love him.
I was so proud of Elle Fanning's character and the real Sylvia, I guess, for just like leaving his ass at the end. Which spoiler, sorry, but whatever.
Yeah.
He takes her to the Newport concert. The music festival.
Folk festival.
Film festival. And she's kind of realizing, I mean, they're not even together. He just shows up. He's like, hey, get on the motorcycle. Let's go. And I was like, oh, don't go with him. But so she goes with him.
I would have gotten on the back of the motorcycle.
I mean, yeah, but like, it's just like, he just shows up when he needs you.
Yeah,
and then he's like, and so then she's kind of feeling, she's like, I am not part of his life. Like, I am just, like, I don't mean to him what he means to me.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I am out. And she leaves. And I appreciated that.
And I appreciate that too, but I do think that's like a lot of concessions people have to make when they like are in relationships with like big artists like that.
But he specifically though, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, he was
kind of like a take or leave it type of.
He had developed. I mean, he was developing a closeness with Joan that she could now see played out when they performed together.
They had such a chemistry.
Which that actress who played her, I forget what I said her name was.
Monica Barbero, I think.
Yes. absolutely stunning. And I think we all had the same moment because we brought it up. She like is at her home. She comes out. She's just wearing like shorts and a tank top, and she leans against the door frame. And you're like, this woman is stunning.
Yeah,
is absolutely
she's really pretty.
beautiful. And so is Elle Fanning. But like,
yeah.
But they like really show that off. But I think
They
like,
make Elle Fanning look like just kind of a normal girl in
Yeah.
the movie, which I think in real life she's like
Which-
I never know how to pronounce this word. Ethereal.
Ethereal, yeah.
She is. Remember,
In
she's
real life,
on. She's
she
on
looks
the
like a
cover of
walking
that.
fairy.
She's on
Yes.
the cover of his
Album.
with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Like even during that photo shoot scene, you could see she was a little uncomfortable. Like she doesn't want to be famous, but it's like he wants her
Yeah.
with him.
But she like ran up to that stoop.
I
though.
was gonna say I think the opposite, where they were
Really?
like, "Do you want to get in the photo?" And
She was like, "Oh,
sure."
She was like
yeah.
already
Yeah.
almost sitting down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which like naturally you
Yeah.
would be, because the thing is, here's the thing: she starts dating Bob Dylan before he's Bob Dylan. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So you're just
I
like,
know.
yeah, sure, and you don't know that it's gonna be one of the most iconic album covers of all time.
exactly.
You're just like, oh, okay, yeah, like we'll take some pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, just to say about Edward Norton, he was really rude to his character, and I didn't appreciate that.
So Edward Norton is a huge Bob Dylan fan, and I do believe he wanted to play Bob Dylan like 20 years ago. He obviously
Wow.
like can't.
But I was
now.
saying Bob Dylan was a huge
Yeah.
dick to his character.
Yes, and I think like they had like
Oh,
some kind of
interesting.
contentious relationship, but
Yeah.
it also kind of shows like I think the original title had to do something with like going electric or something, because it shows like
Oh,
basically like Bob Dylan in the beginning is like, yeah, like I guess I'm a folk singer of sorts.
Yeah.
And you see that where it's like, yeah, he's folk, but then he goes electric, and then it like literally is just like shows the dimming of the lights at the Newport Folk Festival, of like the dimming of the lights on like this kind of old tale. And Elle Fanning's character even says that, where she's like, folk songs were new at some point,
Yeah.
so like your song should be new.
Yeah.
And I think like the thing is like Pete Seeger is kind of trying to hold him back on like this new thing, and Bob Dylan's like, I want to be what I want to be, and I want people around me who are going to be like, yeah, like be what you want to be.
Be who you wanna be.
Yeah.
BARBIE. Barbie girl.
Oh,
I had to get it out. It
That
was
so
just
cute.
wow, I could feel that buzzing from you.
Thank you.
I'm really glad we put that on the airways.
I love
Yeah,
the
of
energy.
course.
The energy
Yeah.
was
Let me know if you need
infectious.
Yeah, but that was
I
all
would
I
like
had
more
to say.
Count Orlok voice.
Do it again. Do that in the Count Orlok voice.
Be, be who you want to be. BARBIE.
We just sang
Barbie girl.
No, I was gonna say let her cook. Look
Let
at
her
her.
cook.
Just let her
I'm
cook.
sweating.
we just take her
Damn.
after this. But that's all I had to say on A Complete Unknown.
It was good. I am excited to
Yes.
see. Or no, I don't. I don't
He
know why
should
I
get
just said I'm
Oscar
excited.
Best
I
Picture.
think he'll definitely get nominated.
I think he should win.
If we want, I feel like we
Sorry.
should go on to the Golden Globes. So the Golden Globes, yes. So that's tricky, because when we're talking about the Golden Globes, which just came on last night, it had to have been one of the kookiest awards I've seen.
I was literally, as I told you guys before this, I was trying to look up stuff about the Golden Globes, but I forgot that I had gotten my eyes dilated. So I'm literally sitting here with my phone about
That's
2
such
feet
an
away
Alexa,
from
like
me,
not excuse,
It
but like an
and
Alexa.
trying to read about the Golden Globes, and I was just
So-
like, I'll just wait for Molly to fill me in.
Well, I wanted to talk about the fashion. Did you guys? want to
I
discuss
have
fashion?
thoughts on the fashion.
Okay,
I took
good.
some screenshots. I did that before my eyes were dilated.
I have one fashion comment, but
Did that
that's
last
because
night?
I didn't see nearly anybody else's.
Okay, who
outfits.
is your number one? Who's
The
everyone's
only-
number one?
The only person I noticed was Zendaya. Sorry.
Oh, interesting. Who's your number one?
Who would probably be most people's number one?
Oh, cool.
I think she was
Only
good.
because everyone's talking about
You know
her.
what? I said Dakota Fanning.
Okay,
I
me
see.
too.
You
Literally,
did?
That's my first
Yes!
screenshot. I was literally like, all the other. That was the first outfit I saw at the Golden
Okay,
Globes.
gorgeous,
wow.
gorgeous.
I took a
Just.
screenshot. I was like, this is the best dress. Not even at the Golden
No,
Globes.
I am
I've
obsessed.
seen in a long time.
And also, okay, can I just say something? I am not Dakota and Elle Fanning's mother, but I am so proud of them as if I was their mother. Like,
you could be related to them. I think.
Thank you.
I could see that.
So
You're a
Dakota,
little too
I want to
tan.
party with them. Yeah, they're very
Same.
pale.
I want to go to
Yeah,
their Christmas
you-
parties.
They're
You've
very
seen too much
pale.
sun for that family, but I
They
could
are
see it
fair,
in
or
the
not
features.
pale, but they're
She's
just
a
like very
vampire, she's a
fair skin.
Yeah.
So Elle and Dakota were, first of all, they both were nominated. Like,
Elle is on my worst dress.
me
list.
too. She's my
Yeah.
number one worst
Okay.
dress.
See, I didn't
Nope,
see
she's
her.
my number two worst dress. Anyway,
Interesting. Okay.
their mom. So Dakota and Elle
their
came
mom?
together,
What's-
and they brought their mom with her.
That's the
She's a
biopic I want.
former tennis player.
Wait, is she really?
Yes. Two
Oh,
facts
cool.
about them is she's a former tennis player. They also, do you guys know that that is not their first names, Dakota and Elle Fanning. That is not their first names.
No.
Dakota's first name is Hannah, so it's Hannah Dakota Fanning. And then Elle's first name
Hannah
is
Dakota?
Hannah Dakota. And then
Hannah
Elle...
Fanning?
Hannah Dakota Fanning.
But like her name would be
Hanning.
Hannah Fanning.
Hanning.
That's too many N's.
And then Elle is...
Hence why she goes by Dakota.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
And then Elle Fanning, Elle's first name is Mary, so it's Mary Elle Fanning.
Those
Again,
are really pretty names.
I
better-
could see her as a Mary.
Yeah.
but Elle is better, I think.
Yeah.
And then,
Interesting.
so apparently it's a tradition in their family to go by the second name.
Really?
Yeah.
Pisses me off a little bit. Sorry, a little aggressive.
You're
But
mad.
I'm like,
You're
just
she's-
name, if that's the tradition, just name the name you want to name them. Just name
I
them
liked,
Elle and Dakota.
So doesn't Dakota look like a Hannah, though?
Yeah, I could see that.
makes
She
sense
does.
to
And
me.
I think
She does.
Elle
And I
looks
think
like a
Elle
Mary.
looks like, I think, yeah, she looks like Elle or Mary.
So, yeah.
Okay, so
she
Dakota
does look like a
Fanning,
Mary as well.
If you haven't seen it, she wore this red dress, which normally on a red carpet is kind of like,
No.
But it, like, literally,
Gorgeous.
it had, like, a, almost like this scarf drape thing around it.
Yeah.
The way it flowed, I've never seen, like, she is my top
really
for 2024.
Yes, I didn't
really
expect her to be my
2025.
number one, but when I saw her immediately, I was like, oh, that's my favorite
I
outfit.
literally, like, it was the first one I saw.
And me
and
too.
then I saw-
It was my first
yes,
one, too.
and then I saw the rest of the Golden Globe
And I was like,
outfits, and I was like, these are nice, but it's not that.
So,
And it's elegant, it's simple, and it stands. It's amazing.
so I did a list. Do we want to do the list, or do we want to just say?
I didn't make a whole list.
No,
I just
you
took
go.
screenshots.
I'll just say.
Okay.
And I will
So
look up
I
pictures
feel
as
like
we
it
go.
can't be unsaid. I do think Ariana Grande and Givenchy was phenomenal. I do think the theme of
I
last
see.
night was classic Hollywood.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes,
With
for
the high
sure. With the high
ponies,
ponies. Do you see
with the-
Nicole?
Yeah.
Do you see Nicole Kidman?
Yep, I
Yeah,
want it right
oh.
here.
Old Hollywood. Yes,
Oh, wait.
gorgeous.
Very, yeah, very pretty.
But the hair, like, so
I like
Ariana.
how they did her hair like that.
Yeah, I know. Ariana Grande, I thought looked. She wasn't gonna be on my list, but then I was like, no, she really did stand out to me. Like, I really did.
Didn't she thank like her Botox thing or something in her speech or something?
She had no speech. She did not win.
She said something about like Botox, and then she was like,
interesting.
"Actually, I'm gonna have Botox."
That
in
was
3
another
years.
speech. That was the night before. There was some award show, and I don't actually know what it was. It wasn't
Speeches
awards,
are
but they were like, no. It was something before the Golden Globes the night before, where it was like some kind of like they were honored with something. I don't know what it was. Anyway, Ariana Grande, Givenchy, Selena Gomez. Have to give it up. I loved Selena Gomez's look.
I
Let's see.
don't
The
see her
blue.
outfit
No,
yet.
the blue. She looked so pretty. Also, I'm kind of tired of people being mean to her about.
yeah.
Oh, that is pretty.
Okay, so I will shout out to my friend Emily. She had her friend text her and was like, "I've never seen Benny Blanco," and he's like, "That's who she's engaged to," and I was like,
You know
people
what?
need
They
to hate
look.
on him less.
That's what I said. I was literally about
They
to
are
say those
happy.
words.
I was
feel
like, people act like he's Shrek, and I'm like, he's not bad. Like,
he's not the hottest
fine.
person I've ever seen, but he's also
Look at
they
how
look
happy
like
they
they
look.
love each other, and I love that
treats
for
her,
them.
He treats her like gold.
Doesn't he just seem like he's
Yeah.
nice? Like, and I don't know him.
Okay,
But
I do love that dress. It didn't make my top, but I do love it.
No, it made my top. She looked so the
Yeah.
color, that color blue,
And here's the thing is that
It
I
looks
love at
good
these
with dark
award
hair
shows.
like that.
Yeah.
and then go ahead.
Is I just love when people do simple elegance. Like they're
That's
not.
what I
And
felt.
that's, yeah.
It was elegant last night. Like it
Yeah.
was so elegant. Also, so for guys, I'm gonna say look up Jeremy Strong. Did you guys see
Oh, I
Jeremy
saw him.
Strong?
I have it
No,
right here.
not
Oh,
in this
Megan,
list I'm
look it
looking
up.
at.
The colors.
what?
It was so colorful. No, I loved it.
Oh,
really?
So his hair is
The color,
apparently
yes, not the hat.
So he's wearing a full green velvet suit with a bucket hat.
the
with
bucket hat
orange
is because his
tinted-
hair is really ugly right now. He had his
Why?
hair at an
What's
award
wrong?
show, and everybody like it's probably for a role. Everyone roasted him, so I'm like, yeah, he's wearing hats
what's
now.
wrong with his hair?
Sorry, he's wearing hats from the mean
That
people.
actually made my worst list, but anyways.
Everyone's so mean to him. Anyway, the colorful.
He's the eldest boy.
Okay, he's the eldest boy. He's not though because he
Exactly.
lost. He lost.
he did.
Kieran
Spoilers.
Sorry, not Kieran Culkin. Andrew Scott was my other guy.
Oh, I saw him. He looked great. Yeah.
The blue I loved, and there was a video of the two of them talking.
I loved it, but the
Oh,
thing is, my
wow.
only thing is he
I
didn't end up
like
in my
that.
top list because I was like, it's a little bit
so
too
interesting.
blue.
No, it's so interesting.
That is
But
very
I do
interesting.
Oh,
He's
Colin
very stylish.
Farrell. Wait, I didn't even see Colin Farrell's outfit. Whatever. Oh, he's wearing penguin colors.
Oh,
How fun for him. So Andrew Scott, I loved the blue, and I
love
felt like
Andrew
it was
Scott.
such a colorful night. So and there's a video of Andrew Scott and Jeremy Strong like talking, and they're like, "I love your outfit," and they're like,
Aw.
"It's cute."
Oh, cute.
Do you guys want to do worse now?
Okay, well, I want to say some of my top like mentions.
Oh yes.
Okay, so
thought
I
we
took
did
like
that.
I just took screenshots. Anna Sawai.
Yes, I was gonna
She
say
looked amazing.
Oh,
So she's from
yeah.
Shogun.
No,
She's beautiful in general.
is
but
gorgeous.
Again, it's very simple. It's very elegant, like the very clean lines.
Her dress
very
at the
fitted.
Emmys was also really beautiful. Do you remember? It was like that red.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought Viola Davis. The thing is, I wouldn't say
didn't
this
see
dress
hers.
stands out, but I think she looks very beautiful.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
think she
I like
really
that.
is.
I like
is
Viola
a
I didn't
great
see her.
line.
I didn't even see her.
And honorable mention is Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yes,
She
she.
looked beautiful.
I didn't.
so good
I
in that
didn't
color.
name her, but she does.
She was made for clothes.
She was made for clothes. I don't know about that color though.
I
Because
like
that's
the color pink on her.
I
Dakota
think it works
Fanning.
with the Golden Globe backdrop. That they
Yeah, but
have.
her skin is like Dakota Fanning's. And
Yeah.
remember when Dakota Fanning wore the champagne dress at the Emmys, and I felt like I was like, no, not the right color for you.
I love
That's
that.
how I feel. Whatever. Anya Taylor-Joy always. no, I'm
Whatever.
saying always.
Yeah.
What I meant, like either way, she always looks great.
Okay. So
Are you guys ready for my worst?
yeah, I only have
am.
one on the worst, and it's Elle Fanning.
So she's my second worst.
Okay, who's your first?
Katherine Hahn. Did you guys see her outfit?
No.
Nope. Show me.
It is.
Oh,
I felt like
yeah,
it
that's
was
hideous.
It was supposed to be a
so
moment.
if you haven't seen it, it's like literally a black top that drapes over like a mustard yellow.
and she's
skirt.
wearing like a belt. Like it looks like she's wearing it to like lunch or
That's
something.
bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
No, it was supposed to
Oh,
be
what's
a
her
moment,
glam
and
bot?
it's not. Yeah, that people like were posting because she has some stands. People love her, and I was like, you guys, that's like
Not a Purina
no,
one.
just go back.
I just want to see her glam bot.
I don't need to see her glam bot.
Oh, okay.
There were some cute ones. Stanley Tucci and Ray
Oh,
Fiennes
Stanley
did.
Tucci, I feel like is
They
a
were
well-dressed
dancing. They did
fella.
like a dance.
Mm.
That was their glam bot. It was cute.
Yeah. Okay, hers is hideous.
Hers is hideous. And then Elle Fanning's was my
Elle
second
Fanning-
worst.
And here's the thing: is I think I just don't like animal print.
No, what? Who does?
Who does? It feels cheap. It feels, and I hate to isolate any of our listeners, but it feels very like Real Housewives of New Jersey. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, it just
Yeah, we
I
don't claim them.
or we do.
oh, we do.
No, I just didn't like it.
Teresa
It
Guidice,
felt
we
like
love
very
you.
old. It just felt like
It was. I think the colors worked well for her, but it's
No.
just like nothing else was working well. Like,
the
even
animal
her
print
hair,
we could have done without.
the animal print is awful, but maybe I think she's waiting for her actual stunning dress for like the Oscars. I will say Jeremy Strong made my worst dress list.
I mean, I could see that. I agree.
Yeah.
I actually somehow agree with you, but also
Yeah.
I agree with myself.
I
Where
get
I'm
that,
like,
yeah.
yes, best and worst. The guys were like kind of stunned last
Yeah.
night. Like, a lot of people looked good. I hate to tell you this, Megan.
You can tell me whatever you want.
One of my worst was Tom Glenn Carney.
Okay, he did look like he just came out of the rain.
He looked awful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did see
Fashion
that.
police.
Also,
Get him.
why was he there? He wasn't. The only representative was Emma D'Arcy. Like
And
what?
him.
Like
And him.
was he nominated for something?
No, but if your show is nominated, then you're going to be
Interesting.
invited. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Most of the time.
Good.
What the hell?
So so redo.
She did two-
redo.
two
Go
lines.
up there. Tom Glynn.
What is this?
Someone take a picture of that.
GL.
No,
I didn't even know you
will.
could do 2 lines on.
So GLYNN. And then
How did you do two
KE and then space KEAR. Anyway.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh.
I
Wait.
sent it to Chris. I said, this is how Alexa Googles. What is
Ew.
that? Yo, I'm sorry. Ew.
Not King Aegon. He is
No,
a
I think he's
usurper.
such an attractive man. And I
He
said,
is a
what
good-looking
is
dude.
this?
Yeah.
Ew.
What is this?
Boo.
So the only thing I will say has nothing to do with Tom Glenn Carney, but like just like looking through a list of people, like the outfits that people were wearing to the Oscars. Not a fan of Cynthia Erivo's dress,
Yeah, I wasn't
Not a fan.
either.
but yeah, no, I'm not
No.
just by looking, but
Okay, I really love.
was fine,
Is
I
this
just
Carrie? Whatever her name is.
what Mulligan.
Carrie Russell.
Carrie Russell. I actually really love this.
A lot of people
one.
did pantsuits. Some
A
Kate
pantsuit?
Winslet did a pantsuit
Yeah, I didn't like hers. It had too many floral things.
too. And then Zendaya came out.
Yeah.
Okay,
stunting.
she was, but also not.
got
the-
something
not
else.
It wasn't my
look.
favorite.
It wasn't my favorite. Her
No,
Oscars
it wasn't.
look is probably going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see what Timothée Chalamet wears to the Oscars. I will say
Chris
he
said,
was
"I'm
also
unfortunately
made.
aware of this."
Um,
Sorry, Alexa. I'm sorry.
he was also made for clothing.
Who?
Are you saying
Timothée
made for
Chalamet.
clothing?
Did you see his outfit last night? I'm sorry. What was that?
Okay, he's been doing. I saw him at a gas pump
He's been weird lately.
He's been weird. At a gas pump, he was wearing like a trucker hat and like these big jeans.
He's been really like method acting in like but like in a weird way.
I do think he's one of those
Yeah.
people where he became famous at such a young age that I think he's gonna be like Leonardo DiCaprio. We're just like, who are you when you're
22-year-olds when you're 50?
He is very likable though. Like I understand. Like
I watched his game day recap.
Oh, I know.
A lot.
So he came.
He
He
showed
showed
up.
up.
I'm not attracted.
you like
to him.
sports
No,
now.
Can I say
don't.
something about the Golden Globes? So now we've talked about
Sorry,
fashion.
yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
Probably
Megan
I
and-
liked Zendaya's, and also just again Dakota Fanning's was really nice, and then Zoe Kravitz looked really pretty. I just
Kravitz
she
was made
did.
for clothes.
I
I think I'm just saying people.
is everybody made for clothes?
coming off fresh
We
out
are
of her
actually all made for
fresh
clothes.
out of her marriage from.
We're all
They-
bodies are made for clothes.
They wear clothes rather than the clothes wearing them, right? Or is it the opposite? Which one is the more flattering thing to say?
I don't
the
know.
clothes wear them.
No, they wear the clothes.
Okay, so let me just get this out of the way. Zendaya came in stunting with a big rock on her left hand. She knew what she was doing. Then today comes the announcement that they're engaged. And let me just say, my second 2025 prediction, when we did our 2025 predictions on the last episode of 2024, my prediction was what?
That they would get engaged. And I have to.
They wasted no
congrats-
time in the new year.
6
you
days
are
into January.
Congratulations to you. Not
Thank
even
you.
to them.
Thank
but
you
just
so
to you.
much.
They like you are a little bit psychic. It's a little scary. But I will say something that I've never admitted to anyone in this world is like Zendaya and Tom Holland's relationship is heavy on my algorithm. I watch videos of them.
Oh, really?
every
I didn't think you
night,
cared
and they're-
about him at all.
I care
Are
about
you
them.
serious?
I
You
don't-
watch?
Every night
I've
I watch
seen
videos.
every-
I love their interviews.
Oh, I've
together.
seen
I love
every
seeing-
interview of
I
them.
love seeing them dodge paparazzi. I watch every
same.
night.
Me too,
I
Alexa.
watch videos
Wow,
of them.
our algorithms
So to see,
are similar.
wow.
What about you, Megan? No?
She's like, absolutely
no,
not.
Oh, then no. Just kidding. But
My TikToks are another deep dive.
yeah, yours
Right
are
now.
like, like
Titanic.
Aaron Taylor Johnson or something.
Yes, they are, and
And
Justin
Callum
Baldoni and Blake
Lutz.
Lively.
Yeah. But so they're engaged.
yeah.
She showed up with that big ass rock on her left
And there's
hand.
a video. There was a video of some producer coming up to her.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I fully interrupted you, but I just have to
I
say
interrupted you.
during the awards, like there's videos in between like people filming them during like commercial breaks or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a video of her at the table and some producer comes up to her and you can see the woman asking, "Can I see your hand?" and she's showing her the
Oh,
ring.
really?
So that's how everybody kind of knew. And then TMZ the next day reports they're engaged.
Which makes me
Like-
sad because she didn't even get to say it herself.
No.
She knew what
can
she
you
she
imagine
was posing like this.
The excitement
yeah.
of like getting engaged
To
and then-
Tom Holland.
to Tom Holland, and then you go to the Golden Globes, and that's how you get to announce
And
it.
you're
That
like,
would be
oh.
a
That's your
literally, if
announcement.
they
That's
were-
your engagement
If
photo.
that were me and Chris, I'd be like, we're not calling my dad. We're not calling my friends. I'm
Yeah,
going to the
TMZ.
Golden.
We're going to the
Yeah,
Golden
Pop
Globes.
Crave.
I'm going to look the best I've looked this year. I'm going to be stunting in an outfit. I'm going to be swinging that left hand
I want
around.
I want Pop Crave to post it. Zendaya stunning with new
Yes.
New rock.
new ring.
And the thing is, she can't. The thing is, I will say, you can't wear a diamond ring on your left hand without people, bless you,
Yes.
being like,
Thank you.
are they engaged? And
Yes.
she was like, yeah.
And then the crazy
Well,
thing
actually,
is,
she didn't confirm it, but
they did through her
They did,
publicist.
yeah. And
Whenever
we all-
anything happens,
you predicted it, but also like it was coming. You know what I mean? Like it was.
yeah, but I
it was
predicted it.
yeah.
How long have they been dating? Actually, I don't even
like
know.
4+
Okay,
years.
great.
Yeah.
So
That's
did they
great.
meet on the
On the set.
first?
On the set of Spider-Man, yeah.
Now
Yeah.
again, I'm not a Tom Holland stan. I don't watch those Spider-Mans. Tobey Maguire all the way.
They're
sorry.
great. No, they're great movies.
But that's Zendaya's his love interest, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
she plays MJ.
Oh, the characters have the same name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
I
haven't
actually
seen any of those
don't
movies.
love her in the Spider-Man movies. Well, at least in the first one, they make her very like meh, and just kind of like
Yeah.
edgy, like this edgy like loner or whatever. But then she gets better in the later movies. But
I'm trying
they're
to remember.
so cute. I just
They
love
are.
them.
They are a very
Yeah,
sweet
good for
couple.
them.
And it's
There was
also
some-
the third. Every Spider-Man has dated.
That is
his,
true.
like love interest in real
Yeah.
life. I
Toby
love
and
that.
Kirsten, and then Andrew and Emma.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to with that upside down kiss.
That's true.
Like, how could you not? But
most
so
iconic
there
is Tobey
was,
Maguire's,
there
though.
was there was an older actress who was like my favorite part of being in Spider-Man was watching Tom and Zendaya fall in love, and it was like very sweet. I can't remember
It was probably the girl that everybody says is me.
No. She was like an older actress. She was like in her like 60s. I think.
Was it Marissa Tomei?
Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, I
May
think so.
Parker.
That's really cute. Yeah, Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, I think that's what. And she was like, "Oh,
The
watching
May-
them online."
Aunt
Michael
May's-
Keaton is in them too.
He was in the first one. The Aunt Mays get younger and younger in each one.
Well, they have to they have to keep up with the
yeah,
Botox,
with the boy
you know?
and the boy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just love that for them. I'm really happy for them.
I am
Apparently,
too.
the more information came out today, which I'm like, okay, TMZ doesn't report it. Zendaya's publicist told them, but he proposed to her at like her family's home.
Yeah,
and he
I
asked
love
her
it.
dad for his hand in marriage.
love that.
Like a few months ago. I'm like, you know what? And I saw an actors roundtable the other day. You know, it's all the actresses. So it's like Zendaya, Mikey Madison, Angelina Jolie. And Angelina Jolie, somebody pointed out, they were like, Angelina Jolie was like looking at Zendaya, like while Zendaya was talking, and she kind of like, Angelina Jolie doesn't really do interviews like that. So
She
it was kind
doesn't.
of, it was kind of
She
rare.
doesn't, yeah.
But people were like, oh, she's probably looking, like when you compare the two of them, Zendaya has like such a nice like life, really. I'm not saying, I don't know whether she really does, but like you think about it, like she's happy. She's in a relationship with a boy that like loves her.
Yeah.
Clearly loves her. And he's like a nice boy. Their families are both like nice families. And you just compare her to like Angelina Jolie, who's had some
her marriage to Brad Pitt was
tumultuous
so highly
relationships.
publicized, and it took them 8 years to finally finalize their divorce, which I feel really bad for her because they've gone through so much, like that whole incident with Brad Pitt.
It's always been kind of like she was in with Billy Bob Thornton like before that, where they like wore each other's blood or whatever. Like she's not the most like
I will say though, I am
traditional, I guess.
I'm very excited to see what Zendaya picks like for her wedding
can you imagine?
dress, like.
And LaRoche is going to be her stylist for that too. Like, I just cannot wait. Her stylist.
I would propose to her too. But
propose to her.
Timothée Chalamet, outside of him, Zendaya is my next. Like, I got that girl.
Well, I think they are the two. If I were to sit here and say, like, who are the two top Hollywood, like, people in young Hollywood right now, I would say it's Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya.
Absolutely.
I would agree with that.
What is Zendaya's even last name? We don't even need to know.
I know, because somebody was like, Tom Holland's going to take her last name, so he's just going to go by Tom. I think here, can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
We got to get back to the Golden Globes after this. But I was going to say, what?
Zendaya's full name is...
It's not Zendaya.
Zendaya Marie, M-A-R-E.
Oh, I knew that. It's Coleman.
Stormer, Stoermer Coleman.
She's so gorgeous.
It's insane.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I wish I could move my eyebrows like she does. Anyways.
Shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
Well, anyway. Oh, I feel sometimes bad for Tom Holland because I feel like he is also a very good actor, but I feel like he's sort of in Zendaya's shadow because she's got range. She's in so many things.
Yeah.
Like he's only in Spider-Man, and when he's in other things, they don't really do well.
Yeah, but I feel like he's fine with that. Like, he seems like he's excited to support her. He reminds me of Meghan Trainor and that guy from Spy Kids. Like, their marriage, where he's, like, supporting her the whole time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
where
he's, like, filming her and he's, like, dancing to her music.
I guess
like,
we can compare Meghan Trainor to Zendaya.
But do you know what I mean? Where he's just, like, he's like, I'm lucky to be with her.
So I would agree. But the thing is, I want more for Tom Holland because I do think he is a phenomenal actor. Like, really, I'm not talking about Spider-Man, but, like, he is so talented. And, like, I just wish because the thing is, he's going to be in the new Christopher Nolan movie, The Odyssey, which will be the movie of the I'm not kidding when I say that movie. You guys aren't prepared for how huge that movie is going to be.
No, I'm prepared.
And I'm not even prepared.
I'm prepared.
I have something to say
No,
about
we're not prepared.
You know what? I want a new Gilgamesh.
Well, can I say something really quick?
Okay.
So I was excited for him to be in it, and it's like Zendaya's also in it. So I'm just like, does he ever get anything for himself? You know what I mean?
So I have something to say about Tom Holland. I just realized this. Just realized this. Because again, I'm sitting here picturing like Tom Holland. Oh, that's just Spider-Man. I keep forgetting that one of the movies that I watched religiously when I was younger is The Impossible.
You watched it religiously, Megan? That movie is so disturbing.
One of my teachers in school showed it to us.
I don't know.
It's a movie about a tsunami.
Dude, No,
No, it's so disturbing.
It's based on a true story. Naomi Watts plays the mom.
That tracks for you.
Yes.
And Ewan McGregor's in it.
Yes. It is. It's based on the 2004 tsunami that like literally wiped out Thailand.
Yeah.
And
I know what you're talking about.
He plays
Tom
one of the
Holland
sons.
plays one of the sons. And I remember like now that and this has been part of my TikTok feed lately because now that the news of their engagement is coming up, like it's just like I'm getting Tom Holland in my feed. I keep thinking to myself, I keep forgetting about that movie, and I'm like, oh my god, that was his first role. And he killed it, and he was so little.
Well, he was also.
And I feel like
was
we
on.
didn't hear anything from him until later.
He was in The Heart of the Sea. Matthew and I just watched that last night. It was the
Oh,
it's like about Moby Dick. Like it's like
yes,
about the.
Yes, I didn't know he was in that.
That whale.
Yeah, and I'm afraid of whales. That was a difficult watch.
I forgot that you're afraid of whales.
It was a difficult watch.
Rats and whales.
But Cillian Murphy's in it, so I'll get through anything.
Hear me out. If there's anything that actually terrifies me,
Whales.
it's stories. It's movies that take place. It's probably natural disaster films, especially ones that take place in the ocean.
Natural disaster films really freak me out.
Minus
the
Twisters.
dream that I had, I told you guys the other night, of a natural disaster happening. I didn't know what to do with our cat and our dog.
Yeah, it's a lot. It really is. It's so scary.
Climate change is a very serious topic.
And we've had this conversation though. Actually, the three of us have.
Definitely.
On this podcast. But I was just gonna say, he was in that, but also he was in a movie called The Devil All the Time. If you haven't seen it, Bill Skarsgård's in that. And Robert Pattinson is phenomenal. Sebastian Stan's in it. Like, great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the Golden Globes though.
Yes.
Let me just say, happy for them though. I will be attending their wedding. Okay. And I'm so
from
excited.
the bushes, like taking pictures from the side. Yeah.
I'll be arrested.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. Can you imagine their wedding? Sorry.
Anyway. I'm imagining us as like an Ocean's like 12 team, but like at
us
their
just
wedding.
trying to get into their wedding.
Yeah. What movie number is that?
Ocean's 12.
8. Yeah.
Ocean's 8. It is Ocean's 8.
As an Ocean's 8 team, but it's like the
apparently Dakota
Zendaya
Fanning was in
Tom
that
Holland wedding.
So, Golden Globes. Anyway, so Timothée Chalamet showed up with Kylie Jenner.
Yeah.
Let me just say, I actually think they're kind of cute together. I don't hate them together. I like it.
I don't hate
because
it.
they're very private, and I appreciate that about them.
Yeah.
Except when they're at award shows.
Being with a Jenner or a
And
Kardashian being
lets-
private is very difficult to do. So good for him.
They don't post any pictures. They're
Good for him.
very
Good for them.
private. I will
Good for
say,
them.
except when they're at these award shows.
Yeah.
People thought she was pregnant at first.
Oh my
She's
god,
not.
that would be the story.
Club Chalamet would lose it.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
yeah.
She's probably trying to kill her.
Oh, she hates her. She'll edit. She'll only use photos that like Kylie Jenner's like not in, like of the golden. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Anyway,
Wow.
Kylie Jenner actually felt bad for her. Demi Moore came up to like the table and was like saying hi to Timothée Chalamet, saying hi to Elle Fanning because she was sitting there too. Ignored Kylie Jenner, and Kylie Jenner was like actively like trying to kind of like talk to her.
Yeah.
Ignore. I'm like, you know what? Be nice. This is really hard. I know that girl has anxiety.
Yeah.
I watched Life of Kylie. I watched the Kardashians. She has anxiety.
Yeah.
This is big for her. Be nice to her. Anyway.
Yeah.
The Golden Globes were a kooky awards show last night.
Yeah, I need to hear about this.
All right. So it was all over the place. Let me just say.
I'm seated because unfortunately, I did not get to watch the Golden Globes. I was watching It Ends With Us.
Well,
Sorry about that.
There were a lot of surprises. It just felt like the wins were all over the place. So kind of the big ones were like Amelia Perez won Best Musical / Comedy, which let's get the musical comedy out of the same category. Why are we still doing that? Let's just not do that. It's a musical.
Because not all musicals are comedies. Right.
And so it's like so it's drama and then musical / comedy. And for some reason they want to group them together. I actually thought Wicked should have won over that.
Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did Wicked win for anything?
Nope. Well, not for big awards, no.
Interesting.
And so Amelia Perez won a lot. Zoe Saldana won, which I thought she was good in it, but don't get me wrong. That movie, though, when you... oh, my God. When you compare Wicked to Amelia Perez...
The thing is, Amelia Perez, I was thinking about it earlier today.
It won for best... They have this new sad category, which is like biggest box office achievement. Get out of here with that.
No, because
that's
that's funny.
category.
That's weird because, and you guys are gonna hate this, but that's what I think. Isn't that what Taylor Swift's Eras Tour concert won last year?
Probably.
It was like
it's a new category.
Yeah, it was.
Embarrassing.
But
it's embarrassing.
Amelia Perez, I was just like, the thing is, it was just so much going on. I'm like, it could have been such a better film
if it was like one of the things it was about. You know what I mean? That somebody was comparing the song, like the lyrics to a Wicked song. Not that the person who did the movie wrote the lyrics, but like whatever. Comparing the lyrics of a Wicked song to an Amelia Perez song, which was I need somebody to make a vagina. Like, it was literally like, that is what the song sounds like.
Yeah.
I have thoughts, but I think I will keep them offline.
Well, it's
like, I have thoughts as to, like, why do you think Amelia Perez would have won?
I'm going to tell you this. So I'm here
say.
to explain that. So the thing that we have to remember is that the Golden Globe Awards are, like, voted on by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association.
Mm-hmm.
So foreign movies are always going to have more of a one-up at the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
The Oscars, not necessarily. So just because Amelia Perez won, like, a bunch of awards at the Golden Globes, it doesn't mean that it's still going to win those same... Because sometimes the Golden Globes are, like, a good... like,
they're a good premise of...
Well, they're
of what
good,
we're gonna
like...
see at the Oscars.
Yeah, well, they're a good, like,
and I want to
prediction of what's going to win at the Oscars, but not... Sometimes foreign movies... usually have, I think the best actress, and I cannot remember her name, I'll have to look it up, I'm sorry, but the woman who won Best Actress for a drama, she was from which I heard was a beautiful movie. It was a foreign movie though. Sorry, pause, hold on.
And I'm here to say though, like, Amelia Perez, the base subject matter of a Mexican cartel leader trying to figure out how to go throughout, like, transgender surgery. Fantastic subject matter.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
They threw in about 50 other subplots and, like,
it becomes a crime drama, and it's a musical, and it was made by a French, French people made the movie, and they didn't actually hire Mexican actors to be in the movie.
Yeah.
So it's like it just felt very just off. Like people were kind of offended by it. It's like it's offensive to multiple groups in life. And but I was gonna say Fernanda Torres was named Best Actress for her performance in the Brazilian film I'm Still Here, which is apparently a great movie. I haven't seen it. The problem with a lot of these movies is like these movies aren't playing anywhere for us to see it.
I've never heard of half of the... I'm sorry.
I've
never heard of I'm Still Here.
I don't know why I apologize to you for yawning.
Or The Brutalist.
The Brutalist won. Adrian Brody won for The Brutalist. I think that will probably win.
I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
No,
I should see it.
I've never heard
No,
of it.
Alexa, you would know because it's 3.5 hours. You know, it's almost 4 hours long.
The Brutalist?
Yes.
That's an at-home viewing.
All right,
I'm not watching that in the movie
Listen,
theater.
if we
I've
sat
said
through
this
Killers of the
before.
Flower Moon together, we can do it.
I'm not seeing that in the movie theater. I'm sorry. I can't sit
And
for
honestly,
that long.
Killers of the Flower Moon,
It was a hard one.
That was tough.
I liked it.
was
I did like it,
I
but
could feel my muscles deteriorating throughout
And
the
guess
film.
what? I didn't get up once to go to the bathroom, which I was so surprised.
I don't think I did either.
I was
3
shocked.
times during
It's
a
different
complete
for
unknown.
if it's like a 3-hour movie. That's one thing. Almost
Crazy.
over 3.5. Brutalist is almost 4 hours. So I've heard it's there is an intermission,
Oh, good.
which I haven't seen in a long time. But
They were like, we have to. I think it's like, we're going to get sued if we don't.
Well, people asked... Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, people are... I thought I read something that people were trying to question Martin Scorsese for, like, figuring out if you should do an intermission, but he was like, I will not have an intermission during any of my films.
No, but it's also
Why?
like a whole thing with like the distribution they will allow. Intermissions or
So the
whatever.
Brutalist does have like a 15-minute intermission, but it's an interesting premise. I think I would like to see it when it comes out, but it's not. It played in 5 theaters. 5.
I don't know if I would...
5 locations. So anyway, he won for that. So it was interesting. I feel like a lot of Demi Moore won for The Substance, which I think people were expecting the one from Honora to win. The actress Mikey.
I want to see The Substance. I want to see Honora.
I thought Mikey Madison was going to win. Zoe Saldana won for Best Supporting Actress in a Musical Comedy. I thought Ariana Grande was going to win.
Really?
That was a
I think
surprise.
Zoe Saldana deserved to win over
I'm
Ariana.
very surprised.
not Ariana,
Really?
Like it hasn't taken anything.
Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
It was Selena Gomez in.
I definitely thought she should win over her, but I thought Ariana Grande should have won.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah.
For Wicked, I'm saying.
Yes, I think so.
Kieran Culkin won for Best Supporting Actor for Real Pain, which I think he
I want
deserved.
to see that.
And you would like it. I realized he is quickly on his way to an EGOT because he has now won an Emmy, a Golden Globe. He'll probably win the Oscar, I'm assuming. Yeah.
And a Tony?
And he just has to win a Tony.
Yeah.
But after he wins the Oscar, he'll have...
Yeah.
And that's within the span of like 2 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Jeremy Allen White, these are just like some notes like that I thought were interesting. Jeremy Allen White won for The Bear, so that's now his 3rd time winning a Golden Globe for that role.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He just puts it in his pile.
Seriously though.
Yeah, so but I felt like the wins were kind of all over the place. Hacks won for Best Comedy, which not surprising. Gene
Jean Smart.
one.
So I need to know where my
House is
House
amazing.
of the Dragon representation was.
Megan,
No-
okay, you were
nowhere.
talking about this earlier, and I'm going to say,
I was waiting for it.
what do you think, and I mean this is an honest
Damn.
question,
Damn.
what do you think House of the Dragon deserves to win for? Out of all the stuff,
because you haven't seen the other shows, and I haven't seen Shogun. So Shogun won everything
Yeah,
for
I'm sure.
drama.
It should over
I'm sure.
House of the. No offense, I've seen both. I do like House of the Dragon. Shogun
I take no
blows it
offense.
out of the water.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. I just think it's when I look at House of the Dragon, I don't look at it as like this needs to sweep everything. I'm just like, wow, because of how much recognition Game of Thrones got, and for the hope that people had for House of the Dragon, which I think, it's still
Yeah.
great. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be the best by any means, but I still think it's a good show. I think there is more to come that will make it more award worthy.
Well, then it'll win when it does. But I'll be honest.
Jesus.
Sorry, I don't mean I sound like a real bitch right now.
Yeah, I'm taking
I'm
no
scared.
I'll
offense,
be
but I
honest.
am
The past
scared.
2 seasons, like I've been sitting for the past 2 seasons. I'm just like,
Oh.
it has not. I would not if I outside of Game of Thrones, if House of the Dragon had premiered. I don't think House of the Dragon would be doing as well.
No.
Because it's boring.
That's
and
what
all
I
of the
think.
stuff that
Okay,
they're
sorry.
doing is just
Sorry.
So
recycling
far.
from
I'll lay
House
off.
or is recycling from Game of Thrones. Or the set design, the way that it's set,
Sorry. It's just how I feel.
the intro music is
That's
almost
what
exactly
I thought they
the
were
same.
gonna. It is the same. I thought they were gonna do it different. I'm sorry, Megan.
It's-
Okay,
I-
I
I'm
actually
sorry.
love the
no,
intro.
I know
because it's the
Game of Thrones, yeah.
No,
which
no.
makes sense. You love
We're not
Game
here
of
to
Thrones.
attack our guests.
Yes, I'm
but
sorry.
I will continue
Bah!
to.
Sorry.
Just kidding. That being said, I'm here
She's
to
actually
attack
tied
our
to this
guests.
chair.
Oh, yeah, my foot's
We have a
falling
gun to
asleep.
her
She's
head right
Ellen.
now.
Yeah, it's fine.
So so the thing is, I agree with that though. That's what I was like. I feel validated because I also just thought it was so boring and I didn't get into it. And this is coming from somebody who I feel like I can't say this because I don't really watch the full show, but any like scene I've seen from it, anything, I never am like, wow, that acting is amazing.
Yeah, it
very,
doesn't.
very valid. I am not saying it is great by any means. It would be nice to see like the representation for Emma D'Arcy. Like it would be really cool to see actors who aren't really involved in
They
other
did-
projects to like get that recognition. But again,
And
more to come.
I'll just be honest. I don't think they deserve it for that. Like they did fine. They did a good job in that role, but it's not something where I'm like, yeah, it should win over like this other person. I think House of the Dragon is just a money grab for HBO to be like,
Probably.
Game of Thrones did so well. House of the Dragon is just Game of Thrones light.
And they're
I
creating
mean, it's
more.
based on books, but
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but you know, like no offense.
I agree.
feel
You
bad.
keep
I
saying
don't
no
hate
offense.
on what
It's
you
that
I
is
take
how
no
I
offense.
feel.
Like,
That's
am
how I
not-
feel though.
I'm not sitting here saying like House of the Dragon deserves to win everything at Golden Globes. Like I'm not even like looking at it like that because there's so many great shows out there that I haven't even seen. I'm just like, yeah, I love the show. Like it'd be cool
Yeah.
to see it. Like
But
I'm
that's
not
why
like I'm not like the hype woman for like House of the Dragon. Like now Game of Thrones deserved every
That's what I'm
win
saying.
they
The
ever got.
acting
That's
on
a separate
that
show.
It is a separate
No,
show.
no.
Now, I'm not saying because of Game of Thrones' success, House of Dragon deserves the same. I'm not saying that.
Well,
I just think
comparing
it's a good show.
the two,
Like, I'm
I
not.
thought like when there's performances on Game of Thrones, and not Peter Dinklage was great, but like I thought other people should have won other than him. Like there were
And I would
so
agree-
many
I would agree
good.
with that.
Lena Headey on that show, phenomenal. Like there were so
Yeah.
many good people,
Lena?
but like
What'd you say?
I just said yeah.
yeah,
I thought you said Leah, and I'm like, she was right.
Lena.
But you're right, but you got.
But I just think like Emma, because you were asking, you were like, did Emma
Yes.
win? And I was like, no.
But
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
why I'm
expect her
curious.
to. I didn't
And
expect. I would have been like, wow, really?
Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
genuinely asking, what do you think, like, if House of the Dragon were to win any of these Emmys, like, what Emmy would it win?
She's not thinking like that.
I'm really not. Because again,
You're
I'm
like
not.
me and Barbie.
Exactly.
No. So here's the thing. With House of the Dragon, I will recognize that other things are more deserving.
Oppenheimer is just as good as Barbie, but
Look
people
what we
take
did.
it more seriously because it's about a fucking bomb and war, okay? Barbie is about women shit, and people are like, oh, that doesn't deserve to win because it has some humor and it has some lightness. It's about love and life and girl shit. And they're like, oh, but this
Cinematically,
was
though-
about a bomb that killed billions.
Wicked got nominated over Gladiator too.
Well, yeah.
Wait, say that again?
Wicked got nominated over Gladiator
That makes
too.
sense.
In what?
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's not always about like like sometimes things are just better than something else. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying, I'm comparing the two because they both were the same situation.
Interesting.
But
cinematically,
Boom!
Oppenheimer.
No.
Oppenheimer
But I
was
would
a
love to
better
see
cinematic.
if Wicked and Gladiator 2 get nominated for Best Picture.
It
which they
won't. Denzel will
Who do you
probably
think would win?
I would hope Wicked.
Well, neither of them. It's not. It's a moot
they
point
wouldn't win,
because
though.
Wicked's not going to win.
Yeah.
They might be nominated, but I do not think those
it
movies
should be
would win.
nominated. I don't
Yeah.
think Gladiator 2 will get nominated. I do think Denzel will be nominated.
You're on the
because
complete unknown train. Don't worry about Wicked.
I don't think
That'll
it's-
win.
No,
So
I
it's
loved
a tough
Wicked.
category because I actually did think Timothy Chalamet was gonna win, or I thought maybe he'll win the Oscar. But now I'm like, Adrian Brody might win.
Yeah,
He might win.
I gotta see the movie.
See, I'm
I
curious.
know, I would like
but
to
I
see
don't
it.
want to sit through a 4-hour movie now.
I know.
The
I've
thing
heard
is-
I've heard it's really
And he
good.
must
think
really
that's-
watch. He must
it's
really be
very
in
good.
Holocaust movies because it looks
It
like
is
it's.
no, it is
It is,
Holocaust
yeah, because
movie.
the
That's
pianist,
his
like,
typecast.
no, it seems to be the pianist.
yeah.
The pianist
It's a pianist.
ruined my life. I know, but I feel like if I say it fast enough, people are thinking I'm saying penis.
Well, you said penis earlier.
It's a pianist.
the pianist.
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 Oh.
But that movie was so traumatizing for me personally, just because I
Ex Machina.
just of the history. Machina. But like it looks like he's in like more of these like historical
He is,
but
you're right.
Holocaust like
He would-
films, and I'm like,
He is-
damn, dude.
He is
like,
one of my favorite actors. I love him
he's great.
so much.
Love to see him as a Nosferatu. The way his
Ugh.
voice would be insane. That nasal.
That's offensive to Bill Skarsgård.
No, but he's so. Remember him on Succession? Like, do you ever remember that one?
I was
episode he
literally
was
sitting
in?
here saying,
Yeah.
where did I just see Adrian Brody? I forgot he was in Succession.
He was
yeah.
also he is in King Kong, which is one of my favorite movies.
Oh,
like
Jack
yeah.
his
That's
version,
such a good movie.
the Peter Jackson one. It's
Jack
also
Black been up to?
Hopefully,
don't care. Oh, well,
Oh.
he's in. Sorry, I'm just not a Jack. I don't care about
No,
Jack Black.
we don't really care about
But
Jack
he
Black.
is in like what? Isn't he in like all the like
Kung Fu
Peach?
Pandu.
whatever that means.
Pandu.
That
Did you say
whatever
Peach?
that means. What's the Peach movie? Mario Brothers. Isn't he in those? No.
Super
He's
Mario?
in all those goofy
he
cartoon
in
movies.
those?
Like Jack Black is so.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
he's
Princess
always
Peach.
in. That man is in so many cartoon movies.
He's a good voice actor.
I just-
He reminds me of Robin Williams.
that's where
in
he
that
can
one.
I just
stay.
remembered when I have a kid, I'll have to take them to kid movies.
You will.
Like it'll be like Pixar
You will.
movies. Some kid movies are
It will
really
because
good.
it cannot be
Take
these
them
shitty.
to-
It can't be Kung Fu Panda 5. It just can't be. I
Take them
can't
to
do it.
Studio Ghibli movies.
No.
Oh my god, they're amazing, Molly.
I
all
thought
right,
you liked them.
I've
You-
seen one.
You would like the rest of them. I've been like
You're
on a
the
studio.
bigger Studio Ghibli fan.
I've been watched. Well, I haven't watched. I've only watched Spirited Away and
I
Those
thought
aren't
you were a
kid- they're not
massive
kid
fan.
movies.
Howl's
Oh, they're
Moving
not
Castle.
kid movies.
But they are. Like they're like
Oh.
Pixar movies where it's like they
I feel like
have
about
adult,
war usually, aren't they?
they have adult concepts. Howl's Moving Castle is
I thought
beautiful.
Spirited Away was a kid
you
movie.
you should watch some Studio Ghibli. It's
Okay, you guys should watch Boy and the Heron because
Yeah.
just the voice
Oh.
acting alone, like, kind of blew me away. Like, again, this is why I say I think Robert. You know what? No, Robert Pattinson is one of the greatest actors of our generation, and I mean that in a serious way.
good. No, Molly. I actually knew that I was going to bring up Timothy Chalamet being one of the greatest actors of our
Oh,
generation.
you're waiting for me to say
And I
it.
actually knew that you were at some point going to counter it with Robert Pattinson. I don't disagree. I think Robert Pattinson is a phenomenal actor. I just think he's not as big name as Timothy Chalamet.
Excuse me?
Nowadays?
I don't have an actor in the
Nowadays?
fight that
Now
I can
he's
think off the top of my
Batman,
head.
Alexa. He's Batman.
In the least watched Batman, I think.
Alexa!
Don't even. Okay,
And
actually,
I love him.
moving
I love
on.
him.
Can I just say?
Okay,
so I'm
Timothy
moving
Chalamet
on.
is Lisan Al Gaib. You know?
It's who?
Huh?
He's in Dune.
Oh my
He's
God.
the Messiah.
Alexa. Oh my God.
He's Wonka.
Batman.
But how many, like, when people think of Batman, they're
Alexa,
not thinking of Robert Pattinson.
Okay, I don't know if they were thinking him as the first one. A lot
is
of
so much
people,
fun.
no, a lot of people love the Matt Reeves Batman. That is that's like a phenomenal movie.
And that's fine. I'm just saying.
I'm so
I
offended.
feel like Timothy Chalamet, like,
Offense.
here's the thing. I feel like Robert
Offense.
Pattinson does a lot of things where it's like
Offense.
The Lighthouse, like, you know, he's doing
That's
like a
what I
lot of
appreciate
like
about
whatever.
him.
And I feel like Timothy Chalamet is doing also like.
so you're saying blockbuster movie over acting?
No, I'm saying both. I think Timothy Chalamet is on par with Robert Pattinson.
Okay, that's fine, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not like literally like we have to kill one of them. You know what I mean? It's just like
I am.
Sorry, I think that's exactly what you guys are doing.
Well,
There can only be one. It's either
here's the thing,
Timothy
for real.
Chevrolet or it's Robbie Pat.
I don't think he's a bad actor, by the way. I do love his acting. I just think, like, I think he's just a tad bit overrated. But what I think about Robert Pattinson is sometimes I'm like, in a way he's underrated because, not really as much anymore, but I think, like, he has really proven himself. Like, I am not just Edward Cullen. Like, I am an like.
Can we talk about Remember Me?
No.
Okay, but I have a
It's
question.
sad, but that's a great movie that he's in.
This is a very
But I'm talking
controversial.
like he is in some. Good
I am
movies
debating.
now.
I don't want to make this mad. I don't want to make you mad. But
You might actually. I don't play with Robert.
what
Pattinson.
if Robert
I don't play
Pattinson
about
weren't
Pattinson.
as hot?
I don't really
Alexa,
think...
his acting is
I don't
so
think he's
good.
I don't think
Yeah,
Robert Pattinson is really an attractive guy.
I don't either.
He's a great actor.
But I
don't
know
think he's
that Molly is like, that's him.
I'm gonna pull up some photos, and you guys are gonna really eat your
That's fine.
words.
It better not be his sparkling vampire
I've
photos.
I've seen a lot of photos
I'm
of Robert
angry.
Pattinson. He's also my algorithm a lot. I think
He
just
was
because
voted.
of-
He was. There was like something.
I don't
years
think Robert
ago.
Pattinson is ugly. I just am not like, wow, he's a like dreamsicle type of guy. You know what
Seriously?
I mean? Fine.
Seriously?
I just don't think he
What?
washes his hair enough for me.
Seriously?
He is a
He and
good...
Suki Waterhouse are like the
That's
most
cute.
attractive.
Suki Waterhouse
couple.
is beautiful.
That's good for them. He is not a bad
What do you
looking
think
guy.
the
He's
baby
not.
looks
He's
like?
not what I put. He's not what I put
I
in
can't
like
wait
the top
to like
5.
anyway. Yeah,
Okay, it's not a great photo of him.
Oh.
Um,
I was
that's
looking
why
at
I'm
her.
asking. I'm like,
Look at him,
but
man.
I'm like,
He's so
you
chill
gotta
there.
separate,
Cute.
like separate. You gotta separate, like is it because you were
well,
like
he doesn't look like a
attracted to
little
him?
rat, unlike somebody else. I'm sorry. Timothy Chalamet sometimes does resemble a rat.
That's
looks like
fine.
a
I'm
rat
not
boy.
saying he doesn't. I'm not in it. I'm not trying to fuck that little Victorian boy. You know what I mean? Like if we
not
he
trying
were
to
a
fuck
normal
Bob Dylan?
person and we were together, I still wouldn't be like, oh, I want to fuck him. I'm just like, he's
I think
phenomenal.
we have
on
to agree to
screen.
disagree.
That's fine. Here,
So,
Oh my god, guys, they're
Oh.
shaking hands. Oh
she shook my finger.
I wasn't really ready for a full.
god, I
handshake.
love being a fly on the wall for this.
Anyway,
You're not a fly on the wall. You're in the.
I didn't have a dog in the fight, so I can't sit here and just throw out an actor's name and be like, he's hotter than
We
all
did
of them.
just scream at you about House of the Dragon. So
Sorry. Yeah, we brought
Again.
you on to beat you down.
Again.
And I'm
Again.
sorry.
Don't ever say that. That would be-
Again.
We love you.
I am not offended. I don't think House of the Dragon is the end-all, be-all best show in the world. At all.
I think
Megan,
we do.
I just want.
I
I
think
feel
we
like
do.
I was really on one when in our text convo when you were sending me Snapchats of you rewatching House of the Dragon.
Duh, but
and I
do not
called
get me
you
started
out.
on that
She
scene.
I
was
called
mad
you
about
out.
that. She
Don't
was.
get me started on that dragon, on that
No,
that
but
battle
there-
scene though
I
is
understand
insane.
having a comfort show. I watch Succession on a loop. I have watched
Yeah.
Succession probably 23
I just
times.
want you to
Schitt's
watch
Creek is that for
Peaky
me.
Blinders. I
I need
know
to get
you
there.
would like it. Like sometimes, like
Yes,
I don't
thank you.
recommend
It's my other loop
I
show.
recommend things to Molly lightly because I'm like, let's just watch it and talk about it for the podcast. You know what I mean?
I'm like a scared deer. Like you have to you can't tell
You
me
have
to
to
watch
tie
something.
Molly down.
No,
You-
no, you
she's-
can't. You can't.
You can't
force
pressure
me.
her.
No, if
I have to find it on
I
my own.
actually have stopped recommending things to
Probably
Molly
for the
as much.
best.
Yeah, because I'm like,
Probably
if I
for the
recommend
best.
it, then she's like not ever gonna watch it. You, however, will be like, oh my god, yeah, I would be interested in that. Then you
Aw.
will watch House of the Dragon 7 more times. No offense.
Let me
But
say,
I'm like, let
that
me
is true.
It's only for your own good. I'm like, let me introduce you to something I know you'll love.
let
I
me
know
just
you'll
preface
love
this by
Peaky Blinders,
saying
Megan.
they recommended Ted Lasso to me, and I'm actively watching it, and I
That's
love
good.
it.
I'm
That's
glad.
great. It
Give
has
me
been
some
like
grace.
4 years.
That is a Megan
But
show.
give
That's
me
good.
It has
It's
been
been
4 years.
grace.
It has been multiple rotations of the sun, but that's
Your
good.
next one, Mad Men, was maybe a little too presumptuous
That was
of
too
us.
much.
Oh,
That
I
was
still
too
didn't
much.
finish it.
And that's
Damn.
fine.
too
You
many
know what?
seasons.
There's too
Peaky
many seasons.
Blinders.
It's kind of slow. It's a little like
I'm still in
Peaky
season 1 of Mad
Blinders
Men.
is your
Okay, I'll
type
get-
of
all
show.
right,
Peaky
that's
Blinders
next.
is everything.
That's
Don't talk
next.
to me again until you've watched it. I'm
Jesus.
serious. I'm putting that out there.
What's she supposed to do right now? She's on our podcast.
I mean,
Does
after
this
tonight.
mean? Does this mean
At-
that
after midnight.
Does this mean that I'm no longer a bridesmaid
Yeah, don't show up to my wedding. You don't watch Peaky
don't
Blinders.
even come up to that aisle.
Yeah.
You will be escorted out.
You will be like, I will leave you from the group chat of my wedding party. I'll be like, she didn't watch Peaky Blinders, y'all. Sorry.
Meanwhile, no one else has.
Everyone's like, this
anymore?
seems
And
like
everybody
a weird.
shuns me.
This seems like a weird
This
fight.
is a weird rule.
Everybody shuns me from the wedding party, and only Molly's the only one that'll text me and be like, "Are you okay, buddy?" And I'm like, "No."
She'll text you. She'll be like, just watch one episode.
I'll be like,
Megan,
you know what?
please.
Here's where Cillian Murphy takes his clothes off.
She'll be like, listen, I honestly, I can't
very
disagree.
excited.
Yeah.
Isn't Tom Hardy in that show too?
Yeah,
he is, and he's so good. Megan,
yeah.
it is such a good show.
Okay, fine. After Ted Lasso,
Adrian Brody's in it.
After Ted Lasso is done,
For a little
Peaky
bit,
Blinders,
yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
I promise you. I will not watch House of the Dragon again. Okay. Okay.
Megan, this is something you're passionate about. You know a lot about this. So there's more to the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni saga.
And we touched on this in our 2024 recap. Yeah. We didn't dive into it, but you should still go listen to that episode. Where if
we've talked about it in a few episodes.
Yeah. We talked about it when It Ends With Us all came out, but Blake Lively basically has been suing Justin Baldoni for $250 million in damages. She basically alleges that he was manipulative and abusive, and there were all these texts that came out that basically were like him manipulating a marketing campaign to look poorly on Blake Lively, to clarify. And so things that she alleges include that he discussed her weight with her trainer, that he pressed her to disclose her religious beliefs. He talked about sex in inappropriate ways. She also said that Jamie Heath, who's one of the producers on the film, he's the CEO of Wayfarer Studios, showed Lively naked videos of his wife giving birth, which is weird in general. She also said that Baldoni and Heath entered her makeup trailer without getting permission first, including when she was breastfeeding. She also said...
And when she was undressing, too.
Yeah, when she was undressing. This is such a small thing that didn't get brought up, but it made me laugh that she also said that Blake Lively alleged that Justin Baldoni claimed he could communicate with the dead, including her father.
Yeah,
Ernie Lively, who died in 2021.
Yes.
Yeah.
She said her attorney said it was off-putting and violative. I don't even know.
Volatile? Is that what it says?
Violative. This is from Variety.
Okay.
For Baldoni to claim a personal relationship with her recently deceased father.
Well, and I wondered where that brought up. Okay, that makes sense because one of the things was just like, don't talk about my father was in her thing. And I was like, what?
And then reading that where it's like he thought he could communicate with her dead father.
That's such a random thing to make up. They're not making that up. I will say.
But it's also just like, okay, so you guys probably know a little bit more about, so then now Justin is countersuing Blake.
Well, because...
And the New York Times.
So what came up was, and I don't know, sorry if you just went over this. I'm sorry, Megan, I'll let you talk. But just to like kind of follow up. So it came out that there was basically, when all of that was happening, when she was being like attacked and everybody was coming out with all these videos of her being a bitch and everyone was like, she sucks. Meanwhile, he's out here like talking about how the movie connects to domestic violence and he's in support of victims of domestic violence. While Blake Lively is not really... It's not a great look. She's like, grab your friends and wear your florals and come to see our movie. And that's because she claims that there was a smear campaign against her. It was used by the same... Justin Baldoni's team is the same team for Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which, take with that what you will. We're not here to talk about Johnny Depp. But, so that's where all this came in, was like that there were like accounts made for social media to like start all these like conversations about her and how she's a terrible person. And it's just interesting because then yes, you go into Justin Baldoni now.
I was just gonna say, I'm not like really like here to like support or undermine either one of them. I do think that there is some truth and some fabrication to both accounts. Specifically when in Justin's countersuit, he released text messages. He released the exact same text messages that were shown in Blake's lawsuit, that show that texts were fabricated and words were taken out. So, for example, this is a big one. One of the biggest things that Blake alleged is that Justin would come into my trailer and I'm going to say this. Blake has a history of being a mean girl and being hard to work with, is all I'm going to say. But she says that she has done a lot of things in this production process that somebody in her position who does not have the title of director should not have done. She manipulated, to my understanding, came in and took full control of the wardrobe, of the wardrobing for her particular character and it ruined the budget. It extended the filming. It came in and it added more to the budget because
she also was dressed like a homeless person.
Yes.
That outfit was not...
Which now makes sense. I was like, oh, of course Blake like overtook this, like
ugly.
The whole thing. Like Justin, and there's messages that claim that, Mr. Baldoni bent over backwards for her request because she threatened to not show up to the premiere and she threatened to not promote the film the way that it should have been, which was the way that Justin was promoting it. And
Yeah.
let's say all of this stuff actually happened with Justin committing what he did with her, whatever. She promoted it in the completely wrong way.
I know. It
and I don't
doesn't
even
take
care.
away from how she handles certain
Absolutely.
things. But she says, though, that was what the whole cast was under the understanding of how they were supposed to promote the film, and then he went and did it a different way. So they were told, and this is wrong, I don't agree with this, but I guess like the I don't know, whoever, like the production, the distributor of the
Sony
film,
or
yeah,
Wayfair?
Sony, I guess. I think it was Sony, said, do not talk about this movie as a domestic violence movie. Like, don't promote the,
Oh my
which is
God.
wild. And so
Crazy.
she and the cast did not do that. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni was like, yeah, sure. And then he went off on his own and did that, making him look like the good guy. And Blake look like the idiot who's like talking about her fashion and whatever.
Yeah. The text, so in one of the text messages that I want to make sure I point out is one of the biggest things, like I mentioned in that lawsuit that she put out, is that he would show up to her trailer unannounced. Weird though, because Justin put the text messages in his lawsuit, literally verbatim, her messaging him saying, "I'm just in my trailer pumping. Feel free to come by so that we can go over our lines." His response to her is, eating with the crew.
Yeah.
We'll head over there shortly. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Maybe I am more on the Justin Baldoni train, whatever. People can say what they want. But that's right there in front of you for you to see. People can make their own, like, accusations. You know what? Maybe there is some deeply rooted issue here. And I do think it's strange that the entire cast has sided against him. I think that's very strange. But I'm wondering if Blake Lively, and especially when she brought in Ryan Reynolds to rewrite scenes that Justin Baldoni had no idea was happening, because they were told that they were not permitted to go to the final screening. I think it was the final screening because it was Blake's cut, not Justin's.
What? So when you
And
said
that's
she
not
had
permitted.
she shouldn't have been involved, was she not a producer on the movie?
Justin is the director.
Yeah.
She
has
has a producer.
Okay.
She has the producer
Okay.
title, but she wanted more. And Justin was like, okay.
Well, I do think a
okay.
producer does ultimately make a lot of decisions on a movie.
Maybe
yeah,
they
but
do.
it sounded like she was making a lot of directorial decisions.
And that's probably true.
And
I
Justin's
think,
okay.
It is weird to bring your husband in to write. I mean, that from the beginning,
that's inappropriate.
I thought was weird. And she claimed that she brought him on, and so the way people are now framing it is like she felt unsafe around Justin, and apparently Ryan Reynolds, I almost said Ryan Gosling, Ryan Reynolds got in like an altercation with him,
and basically
berated
claimed him of like fat shaming his wife.
Yes,
and
but he says that he asked her how much she weighed because he has back problems and he had to
discs.
lift her up. Yeah.
Yes, and there's plenty of scenes that
know.
we see where he has to lift her up. So like in that situation, I'm just like, I'm trying to picture it. I'm trying to put myself in both shoes of Justin as the director, being like, hey, just curious, like, you know, like, how much are we looking at here? I just want to make sure that, like, it's safe for me to lift her, like, even as if it's a small scene. And then, like, for her to be like, how
do
dare
think
you?
we're just getting
And
into a
it's
lot
like,
of he said, she said.
Exactly.
I think
it
so.
reminds me, I'm
It's
not
messy.
comparing it, but I do think it reminds me a little bit of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation, where it was like, whatever you feel about it, if you don't see that these two people are both messed up in some ways, like they both were toxic.
Yes.
Yes,
I agree
then
with that.
like you're not being realistic here, because like I think Blake Lively, whatever you say about her, first of all, something I've got to say is all of a sudden all these people are now coming into her defense. Did you see the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants Actresses?
I thought it was poorly.
I thought it was bullshit, and I
poorly.
Don't get me wrong, I love that cat. I love those
Yeah.
movies. That's where I first saw Blake Lively. Like I love her in those movies. I thought that was bullshit. Where were they when she was getting attacked?
Yeah.
When she was getting slandered by the media. Now all of a sudden they come and they say, we believe Blake Lively. She is a great person. All these people, the people from the
Well, the rest of the Annette With Us cast all of a sudden didn't say anything until now.
Exactly. They were all silent during all that. The cast, also the production company, now they're all coming out in support of her. Women in support of her. Where were you guys when her name was being dragged through the... And
exactly.
I'm sorry, it's bullshit. And like, I don't know. I think two things can be true at once, because she is known. So many people still are coming out with stories of how she acted towards people.
Yeah.
Leet Meester? Anna Kendrick. He's a controversial person, but Armie Hammer apparently. He was told to he was eliminated from the Gossip Girl set because he tried to speak up and like say like, hey, she's like actually kind of complicated, and they were like, nah, get the hell out.
So I don't know if Anna Kendrick and Leighton Meester have ever said anything about her. I think there were just like some interviews that came out where their chemistry was a little off. But
yes, but they haven't spoke like Leighton Meester like have not spoken since. And you'd imagine if you're on a show like that for years, like wouldn't you be like,
no? And they're very obviously like, in Leighton Meester, people say is super nice, like people love her.
Yeah.
But people who have worked on the show in like roles where it's like they have no power, they are just like, you know, assistants or something, or just little like runners or whatever.
Yeah.
They say that so many people have come out and said that she is not nice. And so it's just like, I don't know.
Which like you could kind of see. But it doesn't even matter if she's nice or not. I think it goes to show the power of the press. In that Justin Baldoni essentially was able to hire a PR team and kind of skew like a little bit of the media towards his way. So like he is, people have joked, they're like, he's like a B or C list actor. Imagine like what an A-list person could do.
Imagine somebody with actual power.
Yeah.
Imagine being in, but my thing is though, some of it is like a little hard to believe because I am just like, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are so much more powerful than Justin Baldoni, who I had never heard that name until this movie.
Yeah.
So it's a little strange. Like I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but I did have a hard time. That's where I kind of had a little bit of a hard time believing that, but I don't know. It's interesting. I do believe that the smear campaign happened though. I mean,
that Justin orchestrated it?
Yeah, I mean, but I also am kind of like, part of me, I don't know, I just go back and forth on it.
The only reason I don't know because just of what the text message has been saying, where him and his PR people have sent links to each other and they're like, that's crazy because they think they're gonna say that this is us and I clearly didn't plant that. Like it's in text messages of like, and like one of them is like, is this you? If so, great job, like that kind of thing. But it's like, no, it's not. It's not me. And then Justin's like, I'm afraid they're gonna think that I actually did this. So I don't know how much of it I believe.
I think it might be just one person who is not backing down from her like power.
Probably.
And it's just him just being like, no, this is like how it's gonna be. And I'm not saying one is right. I don't know. It's just interesting.
It's messy and it sucks because
so messy.
There is a second book after this, so it's almost kind of embarrassing because like they're
they're not making it.
Not get made.
No,
it's gonna be with a completely different cast.
That'd be so silly. So let's hope that
they'll probably do
Verity is a lot better.
Will probably go a little bit better.
Yeah, which is like Anne Hathaway.
Yeah,
like
Josh Hartnett, which
Oh, I love Josh Hartnett. He's
for
in
the
it?
Role. Yeah, for the role.
I haven't read the book.
Yeah.
I love him.
Okay.
Will you see this?
Verity? Yeah. I've heard Verity sounds really interesting. I actually would probably watch it.
It is a psychological
thriller. This I had absolutely no desire.
It is nothing like this.
I think
that book is probably one of the best books I've ever read.
I've said before... Shoot. I have said before, like, there was nothing about this movie that I wanted to see.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah.
So, who knows what'll happen? I mean, I think it's like, I don't think we have all the information
We
yet.
do not. And I don't know if we ever will.
Yeah.
Probably not.
But anyways, well, thank you,
this
Megan.
This was so fun.
Yeah.
I mean, these were like the perfect topics for Megan to come on for.
Yeah.
So this was really fun.
Thanks for letting us berate you. Me.
I know.
Mostly.
I'm a brick wall, y'all.
And then I got berated.
I feel What?
What'd you say? I thought we were having a discussion.
And then Alexa's like about to jump over the table because of Timothy
Chevrolet. Oh, that right.
Timothy Chevrolet,
Robert Pattinson. I blacked it out, actually.
I don't play about Robert Pattinson.
I know you do. That's why
Let me tell you guys right now.
I was actually really scared to like ask that question.
You did preface it by saying...
You should have been scared.
You did preface this by saying, Molly, this might make you mad. Oh, no.
He's probably
don't hurt her
number one man. He might be.
I know he is.
Oh.
He might be.
But anyways, thank you all, everyone.
Thank you all, everyone. I love that. All everyone.
All everyone.
Thanks everyone for listening. As always, like, rate, review, and follow us on Instagram at Poppin In Podcast.
Or I will hurt you.
Question of the week. And thank you to our special guest, Megan.
We love you. Thanks for being
2 hours and 33 minutes later.
Jeez.
Now it's time
Some
to
of that might be cut.
Time to eat some food.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's dinner still.
We hope to see you next time. Here's to 2025. Poppin' in every week.
Bye.